item for all Salon people and then party them. Sarah Media will be bringing you a variety of programs ranging from documentaries to discussions, interviews, news, views, sports, and entertainment. Our programs will contain matters on development, governance, the economy, and issues that are of importance to Sierra Leone. So, no left BNO because we get Bebe program then like Salon discussion, meets the ministers, the president's hour and the Gladi program. Look me, I look you. All this they start soon na www.sarahjemmedia.org. Now who's tem these?
As we talk about burning issues ranging from politics to the economy, culture to sport, education to entertainment, corruption to the environment, we realize the Sierra Leone story is far from finished. So, Sierra Gem Media Production brings you Zoom In. Zooming In is the program that engages everyday people, entrepreneurs, inventors, entertainers, activists, policymakers, and politicians to discuss and debate issues relating to Sierra Leone. Zooming In digs deep into the issues and stories. Zooming In ensures the debate is pushed to another level. Zooming In asks those questions that has never been asked before. So, join me with the host, Chuma Bano.
The Sierra Leone entertainment industry, UK and I, appeal in response to COVID-19. Coronavirus is here.
I just want to tell you this short story here, but coronavirus waiting, especially me they miss na the entertainment industry.
COVID-19 don't put the world into a standstill. We know say no party need to go on, no shows.
And as a community, we don't come together anymore like we used to, especially during the weekends.
I know it's hard. Honestly, I know it is hard.
Stay home, stay safe, please.
We know exactly it is causing so much psychological problem and financial problem.
It is a harsh reality for all small business owners across the world.
The coronavirus that affects me big time in my community because I need to even get chance for come on and do for go do my business. Women a businessman.
I'm a hairdresser and I have a lot of clients, and also I work with a team of other hairdressers.
Actually, as pandemic affect my business greatly.
Well, I'm in a beauty business. Everybody just stays indoors and would not want to have on makeup, especially those who just do makeup when they want to go out.
Just do things that you've always wanted to do. Learn a new skill, read a new book, watch a series on Netflix.
Yo, my people, wherever you are, whatever you do, remember, Corona is real.
The last few weeks had been very anxious and stressful for everyone.
Like everyone, I felt the wide-ranging impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, challenging our extended family unit.
It has not been the same working from home.
You should only go outside if you need to get essential items or if you're a key worker, like my mum who works at the NHS.
Do ya, my people them, make we follow the rules them at this very time.
Coronavirus is real.
We know say it's not easy, it's difficult, especially when we get family for feed.
Because the longer this goes on, the longer we won't be able to return to our normal lives. And the only way we can is if we follow the guidelines.
Let's come together and save lives.
Just because being a musician, I tour and I perform, and all my shows have been cancelled due to the situation. So
that said, everything about coronavirus has not been all negative. For example, staying at home has enabled me to spend more time with my children.
The positives are, though, you can spend more time with your family members, you can appreciate the importance of humanity, you can see people being generous and kind and supportive.
We pray that these dark days will soon be over, and as a community we can bounce back stronger and better.
I mean, all the activities that we normally do on a daily basis, it's not happening at the moment.
We don't shake hands like we used to. We don't hug like we used to. And as a matter of fact, the outbreak of this pandemic has instituted the practice of physical distance.
By doing so, we are stopping this virus being spreading. Then we can get to our normal daily life.
One thing I believe for sure, we're going to come out of this very strong,
Yeah, anybody who gets mama, naya, auntie, whether old age, we get any underlying illness, please we always contact and check them.
But this don't left them very, very sad. This don't left them feel so isolated. This don't left them feel confused.
Coronavirus or COVID-19 has affected my community in so many ways that we have never seen before.
Due to this virus, we've suffered mentally, physically, and emotionally.
Coronavirus is causing lots of mental health for people in my area.
My community, I don't even see my neighbors now. We're all indoors.
For all this time so far, the mood has been extremely somber, especially considering how unpredictable the whole situation is.
We are in the house and doing online studies, which is not easy, and it is sad.
My dad is a bus driver and he works because he's a key worker. People who are not key workers, please stay at home to prevent the spread of coronavirus. At the moment, I'm now doing online studies because coronavirus has affected my studies at school.
I'm begging you as your sister and your daughter, please stay safe.
COVID-19 pandemic has affected us all, professionally, socially and personally, with some drastic changes made to our daily lives.
I would like you to follow the instruction government are saying to you.
Romans 13:1 and 2, it says every person must submit to and support the authorities over him.
May the Lord bless us and keep us. May the Lord cause his face to shine upon us and give us peace.
This is the time that we need to come back together. This is the time we need to reconcile. This is the time we need to begin to love each other. This is the time we need to let go of those things.
And what we know is that at this time, we all need God's protection.
Remember, we are all in this together. Coronavirus is real.
So please stay at home.
Because we want you for their life. We want you for Dewey Salon Suite. We want you for Enjoy Salon.
When I was young, a lot of things were different. Unfortunately, most of the differences seen now are heartbreaking and are not good at all.
Before now, men were strong protectors of the weak, fathers, brothers, lovers, sons. Their mere presence guaranteed the safety of women and children.
But what do we do now?
Men harassing and raping women.
Men sexually abuse little girls.
Men battering and killing their wives.
Any form of sexual assault, be it rape, sexual abuse, or pedophilia, is a killer to human self-esteem.
Women should stop dying in silence. Speak now.
The rapist should be stigmatized, not the victim.
I think death sentence should be the consequence of such terrible acts.
And you mothers, build confidence in your children, put trust in them, listen to them when they make reports, and take necessary actions.
Talking of mothers before now, women were virtuous.
They were mothers, daughters, and sisters.
Nurturing, counseling, supporting their men folks.
But now, women are trafficking female children for money.
Women are forced to be silent.
All this must stop, and it must stop now.
Real men do not abuse, rape, or molest women and children.
It is barbaric, unacceptable.
Let all real men stand with us. Together, let's say an emphatic no to rape, sexual abuse, pedophilia, and domestic violence.
Of all the crimes committed against a person, rape is the one that leaves a person feeling very violated. A rape victim is often left with the feeling that a part of them has been torn apart.
To use another person's body and ignore the soul that resides within is one of the most outstandingly shocking crimes that one person can commit against another.
Some men harass and rape their women.
Some men sexually abuse underage girls.
Some men beat and kill their wives.
Any form of sexual assault is unacceptable.
There must be consent before you act.
Being in a relationship is not consent.
If they are not sober, they can't consent.
Flirting is not a consent.
We had sex before is not consent.
Silence. It's not consent.
Only an informed, sober, freely given, ongoing and enthusiastic yes is consent.
Women should stop dying in silence.
A man does not become a real man by physically dominating a woman. A man becomes a real man by loving, protecting, and respecting the woman.
Real men do not rape or abuse women and children.
Let all real men stand with us. And together, let's say no to child abuse, no to domestic violence, no to all forms of rape, being it spousal rape, intimate partner rape, child sex abuse, statutory rape, date rape, serial rape, and gang rape.
We must rise up against this ugly trend. Justice for one, justice for all.
All sexual assault must stop, and it must stop now.
I was raped multiple times by my aunt's boyfriend when I was 6.
I was repeatedly raped at the age of 8 by a close family member.
I was raped at 19. I didn't speak openly about it because I was ashamed and afraid that people would judge me.
I was raped at age 5 by my caregiver's husband.
On June 17th, 2020, 5-year-old Khadija Sakon, a beautiful little girl from Freetown, Sierra Leone, was repeatedly raped and strangled to death, allegedly by her own cousin. Her death shocked the nation. But in truth, in this small West African country, 9 out of 10 girls experience some form of sexual violence in their lifetime. Think about that for a second. 9 out of 10. That's 90%. My name is Aisha Sase. I'm a journalist and activist. I'm joining forces with Idris Elba and other activists from across Sierra Leone to support the survivors of sexual violence with the Survivors Solidarity Fund. Please consider donating whatever you can afford. All monies raised will go to 4 local organizations currently providing free medical and legal services to survivors. 5-year-old Khadija lost her life to sexual violence. That same threat remains for millions of others. So this is also a call for you to use your voice, your power, to draw attention to an enduring culture of rape. Together, we must end it now. My name is Aisha Sase. I am Khadija Sako.
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 We are Khadija Sako.
We are all Khadija Sako.
Hello, hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, and good night, depending on whose partner the wall you find yourself. Welcome to CIGM Media. Today, a special zooming in on a Tuesday. We want to say thank you so much to all we viewers, them, we followers, and friends and supporters and well wishers. Welcome to CIGM Media. Usai, we always tell una say, yeah, the African story, now the Africans then they tell the African way. Me una host, Najuma Ba. It will be, light-hearted but important conversation and a time for reflection for we all. Not to all the time that we get for to discuss the heavy topics, but something we relate to we all, and we've been affected. One way or the other, and we continue to be affected. So it's interesting, and important for we, join in the conversation today. We get familiar faces then for Una. Una Sebe, feel free for join in the conversation. Share your experience with us. Share your story with us. And let we tap ourselves now. We back and say, tell God thank you, at least we didn't also forget a conversation. The topic is big. We say the COVID pandemic lockdown. A year on, 1 year on, and 1 year and counting. We still the count. Remember March 2020, we get this shock. Actually, something we start in 2019, spill over to 2020, but actually in March, it became serious. We make the world stop. So we'll go deeper into the conversation, but that's just the introduction. So ready for share your story with me, ready for share your own testimony with me as well. With people that we are getting now, so like I said, our familiar faces. Of course, we get Sylvester T-Boy Dugba. We una all know na Tsangais Bobo. Look at his smile. You see, I think all I said guys will wear this smile. T-Boy, welcome to the show. And tell Fambule Adu. And I normally argue where I say you not Trangaye claim no more. And tell me
good evening, good morning, good afternoon. This not T-Boy. I know I go back to me original old name about 18 years ago where they reference me to where I did online. And I keep them. But yeah, welcome to the show. Today is about me, myself, and I, and my experiences behind the doors of Lock It Down.
Lock It Down.
There's a lot you're gonna hear about me today.
A lot to share. Thank you so much, T-Boy. And possibly it'll be nice, we'll say go share with your personal experience. And I know say Una Seben go able for relate to the story, and Una say feel free for share with me as well. At least today I for talk.
Today I am proud and posh. Yeah, sure.
You're proud and posh?
Now, today I am proud and push.
Okay. Insane master.
No worries.
Right. So we get another person with Madam Aisata Sisi Jallo, we now the host for the health show. Welcome again to CIGM Media today as a guest and part of the team. Welcome, and you don't see the big topic, and I know say una do a lot, and I'm sure you have a lot to share, both your personal experience and possibly case studies from una work we una do with the Sierra Leone UK COVID relief and support, emergency relief and support team at the UK day. So welcome, Aisata.
Wow, thank you, Juma. Thank you. Good evening. I fumble them on a good evening, I hope everybody okay. Thank you for logging on. Thank you for joining us. We try for keep on today now we local dialects, Creole, because this is about us today. This is about reconnecting. Today is about reflection. Today is about connecting. Today is about how you get support or how you give support during this 12 months of lockdown. Today is a national day of reflection. I know say Juma don't rub, much partly fact say me personal experience and everything. But I think the other side back way in forget for Rob Motspan is me professional experience, because I think for me, then they play a great role in my personal experience. Lots of transferable skills, lots of transferable experience. So today is the day where we just want for can talk. We can talk, join the discussion, join the conversation so that we can share, we experiences, we can share we thoughts. And like I say, we reflect, we connect, and during the process, we support one another. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. I'll now go to the man behind the scene, where they make the magic happen, technical person, when I'm Mr. Obafemi Pama. I won't call in other name them we get, but then too expensive. Una get for pay money for loan I them name them. Mr. Pama, welcome. And tell me, because can talk much, so tell me small what they expect for today's program. Because today we they get you on camera, you get for to that 2 minutes where you can't talk at the end. No. This discussion are we all. Over to you, sir.
Good evening, good afternoon. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. As Juma say, and as Esther say, as T-Boy say, we're here today for can talk about the last year and in different facets because I believe say we all do experience COVID in one way or another. Some of we don't get the disease, don't recover. Some of we not make it through. Some of we go down spare away from getting the disease, but it still don't affect we. Now we workplace them, now we relationships them, and really and truly COVID in one way or another don't touch most of we lives. And so today, as I say, we want can talk and find out our own experiences and their experiences and see if we can learn a way for deal with this year. So either put some beer way or at least able for deal with and going forward.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Pama, and we look forward to your own, experience and which you go on for share with you, both from a personal level as well as people that were there around you. So let's start with Aisata. And Aisata, I know say you wear 3 cap. You wear 1 blue, 1 green, 1 red. I don't know if you get Enkicha back with tie. But so let's start. I don't know. So I don't say they're all intertwined, but let's start first from the personal. And the reason being because sometimes and they look out, we know they look in. As a person, human being within this earth among the billions of people, COVID come, I don't know 1 year today, we see that they discuss them, but tell me from that first 10 days in March during the lockdown, share your own story with me first. Well, begin share your own story with me.
Okay. Begin share my own story with you now. Well, first of all, like I say, like you self don't say, I wear too many hats. And because of the different hats that I wear, it can actually help me sometimes, and sometimes it actually not good for me. But in this case, I think it was good for me because of my professional hats where I wear, I actually be kind of psychologically be in a better place for the lockdown. It didn't come as a shock like it did for some people. In fact, I think few people the way they around me, I kind of take the opportunity for one day say, we they go into lockdown, we they go into lockdown. They're like, what do you mean? I said that they locked down the country. And so when it came, for me personally, it wasn't a shock. But I think from a personal point of view, it was a shock for my family, because all of a sudden, them picking them, able go school, my husband get for work in a house. So the dynamics now the house changed straight away. We house turned into a school, into an office. And then you get me, now me one they go out because of my job. So it was kind of scary. It was really, really scary to say the least. Every day when you wake up, you don't know what you go face, and you don't know what you bring kind of host. Me, I'll not be so worried about myself. I was more worried about my family, especially my husband. I just with the worry say make I not can with the virus now us and can infect them. But needless to say, it also was a time where I kind of take one of the biggest risks in my life. In terms of exposure, I exposed myself so much to the virus that up till now I can't even believe that I don't ever get them. But I tell Papa God, thank you for that. So from a personal experience, I think for me, I was scared, I was worried, I was anxious, not so much about myself, but for my family and my loved ones.
Right. Okay, cool. Thank you so much, Isata, for sharing that quick, in a short form or summarizing. We'll delve deep into the conversation as we go. And like what you talk just now, possibly you will get an opportunity, where you get an idea, so your professional experience help you, because Marlon ACC right, and I say failing to plan is planning to fail. Ebola was a precedent that we could have utilized as a curve to keep the COVID in a much stable condition. But Sierra Leone is another story. In fact, most African countries. Well, so at least where you don't get the idea, you've been a plan within yourself how to accept them, in as much as it was still difficult for you, being a new thing. So that will lead me to T-Boy. T-Boy, I was, where before I see Marlon in comment here, I already don't think who's I for place this question with you, because if anybody na experts in pandemic is you, meaning you don't suffer too, you suffer Ebola pandemic na salon, then you can get caught up in COVID as well. So share with me, how then they affect you, and then more so on this COVID one. Is COVID different from what you experienced with Ebola? All of them things.
Not too different scenario, if I go be honest, because when I'm in the Freetown during the Ebola crisis, and like already first incident happened, I thought it was a joke, and I'm saying, no, this is not Ebola. So I've been trying to find out exactly what's in Ebola. Like that gave me Papa with London, where they phone me every day. See, boy, Ebola don't come out, see boy, come back. But like I say, when pandemic happens, sometimes you just grab and run and go if you know exactly why you run and go for. So I thought at first it would be something we possibly are able for deal with in terms of job opportunities. And then I also look at them and say, this is a week. So eventually I find out, say, Ebola, that's something very contagious, regardless whether you day inside motoka or whatever you be, there is a high tendency for make you catch Ebola because the symptoms then be very similar to well, they're not similar, then they be very different from what they know as the Ebola we been they happen in Congo. So for that reason, I was not taking it seriously. So eventually, after like a week or two of serious research online, I realized this definitely not Ebola, but a different type. So I started saying to people, this is not different Ebola, so we have to be very mindful. But again, when you know why it's not some people need to take you that seriously. But the experience was quite different compared to the way how I was caught up with Corona in London. The lockdown as alone not being really that much challenging, except when they begin extend them to 3 days, then it became very serious. But the first lockdown was a bit shocking because this is not the very first time in Sierra Leone in my entire life where the streets of Freetown extremely empty. Not even a single person. But by then, media personnel and the military and the police had the reason to go out to monitor the system. Well, I refuse to take the pass because not a thing anyway you go take pass for because you want to document something. Now, one disease where I refuse for document, not so because I don't even get the capacity, but I think the risk was extremely high and I did not want to take any chances. Then some work, then they will then bring to me where we don't pen in way eventually come up, where they look at some say, well, okay, there were so we don't even at the front line already because we started off with front line work. We be Makeni, Kabbalah, Cambia, I think in Putzloko. But when we reached Cambia, which was a very close proximity to Guinea, now they had decided for the body line. So this is it. When we can now Makeni Road, they can down now the process of coming back to Freetown. Now the term, the barriers, them, and the reality of Ebola can't in the public domain. So we then say Makeni, we begin see actually people in the Vodo and die, then the Vodo and see. So I'm like, no, we have to go to Freetown and definitely we get for stop this. During that process, they then gets another job with me for happen at Kenema. And I say, you come on, Cambia.
Outside at the host.
Outside at the host. You don't come on Cambia where they near Guinea case until you're not too sure because Cambia don't get serious cases then. But by the time they come back, the cases don't begin for multiply. And then something come up for Kenema. They said, no, Tiba, because you didn't say the guy, you put your boom pool. I'm like, no, safe at all. But when I can experience COVID lockdown in London, and I would say I am already under lockdown, meaning I work from home. Permanently, I'm home. I can stay home for like a week or two or even a month. I ain't even commando. But it's different from where you don't have a choice. You just have to stay indoors, regardless whether you work from home or not. So it was like a continuity for me for stay home. But this time around, when it is not down to you, that because of the reason why they say everybody for stay home, then you can find them a bit challenging. It was slightly different. But like I actually say, when it began rumor to we say, but then lockdown, I say, I forget to go. Not so better thing, we don't used to lock down. But it is quite different. It really, really, really different. Because the worst of it all, you don't know the symptoms. They were not very clear. You don't know who is carrying COVID or not. And like I had to say, she was exposed, but we too put ourselves in the danger zone at some point. But eventually, we realize, say, sometimes you put yourself at risk, even though you know the amount of risk you put yourself in. But God will protect you to some extent, but you therefore protect yourself.
Right.
And with real experience, the risk was high. That's what I would say for now. So basically, you are caught up indoors. You don't have to go nowhere. You're stuck in, and everything that you do have to be with the confine of your own environment. And it was a challenging thing to do really because it creates a lot of scary moments within me. And those scary moments can never be interpreted if you don't actually put yourself in a position. Yeah.
True. Well, thank you so much. Talking about risk, you know, it will be very unfair for let we go too deep into this program. We'll not say thank you so very much to the frontline workers, you know, the nurses, the doctors, the everybody waiting at the health sector, the transporters, you know, the EMS people, them, everybody so far we play a role during this COVID for try for make sure say they attempt for save lives, then save lives or educate people them. Because imagine like where I said they say just now, some of we get healthcare, you know, practitioners within the family. You imagine what it's like someone leaving their home for go save another life, but you don't know what they bring calm to your family. So you're not just risking self, but you're risking family. So we want to say thank you so much to Una and Una family them for way Una put Una life now the line, because you had a choice to, you know, you can decide to another go work, pull uniform at away. Some of we witnessed one at Sierra Leone. We saw when the war got really, really intense, we see military people and they pull the uniform then to wear. They say not to me they go die for person. You know, so it would have happened that kind of way. Mr. Palmer, to you. The war stopped. Like just put out there, just they put out that way they are anger for you.
Which you say the world stopped?
Yeah, at a point. That's how I saw it.
Yeah, so the world stopped for we all really. How can I put this? Yes, I remember, you know, let's begin with Ebola. So I remember when Ebola struck, you know, we did England, I think say something I meet T-boy been mentioned because as I beat T-boy and carelessness. Sorry to say, you know, the ever
We not even want to go that side itself with him because why we they call him, he's always in denial.
Indeed, so he doesn't take things very seriously.
I make us say me papa them now you fancy.
When obviously the news break now, so I remember reading a post from somebody in a tongue we say, man, I know they shake nobody I know this young lady. Say I know they shake nobody I know because this and that day. And I'm thinking, you know, okay, the message don't reach tongue, but let's call T-Boy and see what he's about. Because also T-Boy alone, we get some employees that really walk around with T-Boy. And obviously, if T-Boy do something, they will be tempted to do it themselves. So I called T-Boy, I want to ask him, man, this house look serious, so now for take easy. And who say the plan for camp? You know, and we had all these discussions. Obviously, I called family. I get very close family in Afriton. I called them all and I advised them as in waiting the news where we they get Naya because I'm not being sure say then they get the news as quick as we they get them. Me papa na is scientist and so we spoke lengthily about it. I talked to others than our family and friends. But it was hard, just like how you say during the war, again I've been there Naya. When you're far away, it's hard when you're not in town because all you can do is worry. You're not physically able to do anything for save anybody, for you know, for avert anything, or you're sitting on your hands are tied, you just wandering. So when the situation of Kiton got worse, we all get very worried. And you know, the skills that we got Giri, we not been get the chance for actually go free tongue and help, even though they were calling for volunteers. But because we not skilled in that area day, we were not required. So for me, that hurts even more because I've been for able for help. So fast forward a few years, come COVID now, and now it hits us in this side of the world a lot more than it hits in Sierra Leone. And this is not the first time we made on face something like that. I didn't face the war, I didn't face Ebola, but I've been for now face this deadly disease when in COVID. Where you know they say and this this post where they come for can fit you when the invisible man, you don't see it till it actually hits you. So it's hard for protect against. But the science tell we say for what we are, for keep safe distance from people them, for cover we know say we must. So we follow the instructions, and thank God, touch wood, a year on we're still here, we're still battling. I've always been COVID free. I've been tested so many times because obviously because of work and family reasons, I've had to travel back and forth into work and out of the country as well. But that in a different story about the testing. And
I get for can to that story there, so keep up for me small.
Okay, I will keep
that
that story
experience
there.
you get
But,
for share with me.
the year for me has been crazy. As I say, I didn't have the opportunity to help in previous situations. But this one, because of Usadi work, my 9 to 5, they have the NHS is one of our
Clients.
clients. So when the NHS call, say they needed help, our organization turned to us and found the people them with the NHS say them in need. So they needed communications people to help set up video conference rooms and train some staff them into using them. But when the information came to me, it was a bit ambiguous. We're not being sure exactly what they were building these field hospitals. So we were told that until we'll get for go work there, because we get office them all around the UK. They gave us a number of different field hospitals, them one in Manchester. So I was supposed to go to either Manchester or the one at the Docklands, so in our Excel Center. But then another information car, we see then they set up other areas then with the ones the main decision makers then for day. We're not going at the field hospital them, and they would like those services. So my name was put on. They sent me a letter as clearing me to travel to be a key worker. So at that time they said to me, it's not compulsory, it's optional because of the risk. I shared it with my family, and obviously family all man begin worry, say, hey Femi, sure see you handle this here. So but again, as I say, I thought this is my opportunity to lend a hand. I'm not able to go inside the hospital, go work for save lives, but if I able help on the communication side of things, then so be it. I believe I've got a destiny, and if God don't put this on my path, now something I get for do. So I kind of volunteered. But going to work every day during the few weeks and day was hard, because not just physically but psychologically. I work in the center of London, and as T-Boy said earlier on, we see Free Talk empty. When I saw London Bridge and there was hardly anybody there, and it was crazy. It make your mind wonder. It make your mind realize there's something really, really wrong about this situation. But as I say, thank God, we've so far escaped everything, and we pray that we keep ourselves safe and healthy going forward.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing, and exciting, interesting, challenging times for we all. I'll come to me on a little later. Lagi, Isata, a chance again for coming. Isata, what made you, knowing what you knew about COVID, still grab consciously, voluntarily, for go do a professional duty, for go serve? And the reason I'm asking you, because I'm sure possibly you don't relate or talk with other healthcare practitioners, possibly we share their own story, waiting at the thing, because like Femi say just now, in feel say, I have to give back, I have a destiny. Waiting at be that thing, they will be the trigger you for grab and go away. They say, Mr. Jallo, God day, last still grab, then people learn they need we service. That's one. The other part of my question, what was your coping mechanism in all of this?
I like this second question.
You know, like the
but let me deal with the first one. The first one is easy. To summarize, duty of care. Duty of care is what made me wake up every morning and leave my family behind and take that risk or go out there in the front line and not know what to expect every minute or second or so. And the reason for that is because growing up as a child, I always had a vocation. My vocation was to look after people. And eventually, I think most people growing up, including me, daddy, my path was to become a medical doctor. But actually, when I come back to this country, I actually decided, say, no, I'm not going to become a medical doctor because I feel, say, the hands-on care where I enjoy and like, it kind of limited when you're a doctor. Yes, you're still helping people, you're still being part of a healing system and so on and so forth. But that hands-on, that time where you get as a nurse with a patient, they get also as a doctor. So I decided for become a nurse, and I took it very seriously because for me it was a vocation. So duty of care, I come back to that. So for me, I had taken an oath as a nurse to be accountable and to have a duty of care to anyone who is of physical health issues or vulnerable. It is my duty to care for them. So that's my answer to the question one.
Okay.
Question two, what was my coping mechanism? Me not somebody where I do process things a lot in my mind. Kind of my mind is like a conveyor belt. You go to an airport, you see the conveyor belt that brings your suitcase. If you don't pick it up, it takes it back and brings it. That's how my brain works. So my brain, it process and process and process. But just like the conveyor belt, when your suitcase comes, when you realize, that's my suitcase, you then pick it up and you grab it off the conveyor belt. So my brain works exactly that way. Something is happening, I process it, maybe go over it once, twice, thrice, and I think of the solution. How do I manage this? What is plan A? What is plan B? Somebody mentioned earlier on in a different context, planning to fail is failing to plan, or failing to plan is planning to fail. So for me, I always plan for the unexpected. So that is one way, that is one of the key things of my coping mechanism. Because I'm always anticipating something not working, my family says sometimes I'm a bit pessimistic. And I say, no, I like to be one step ahead. So because of that, my coping mechanism is different from a lot of people. And through that, I have developed resilience. So the bottom line is, I process things in my brain, I make sense of it, I accept it, and I move on. And yes, I do also use a lot of distraction therapy to help me purge my brain of the things that I've accepted but don't want to move on from. So I use distraction therapy to purge myself of those thoughts. And when you say distraction therapy, what are one of the things? What we're doing now, the health show. The health show is one way for me to cope and deal with what I go through at work on a day-to-day. And people might say, oh, that's strange, that's weird. You're still coming and you're talking about health issues, you're talking about depressive issues and stuff. But no, it's within a different context. I give, I share. Carry, again, is another way I cope. Keeping my mind occupied is, for me, is my greatest coping mechanism. And as you can see, with the COVID, bringing together the Sierra Leone COVID rapid response team, again, was another coping mechanism for me, because it gave me something else to do other than just what I was doing at work.
Yeah.
Yes, what I was doing at work was similar, but in a different context. This was giving back to my people, and kind of, you know, squaring it in my head to say, okay, I am going out there, I'm taking this risk for other people, so I might as well cope. The way of coping is taking the same risk or even more for my people. You know, my Sierra Leoneans in the diaspora, although we ended up looking after people who were not from Sierra Leone. But that was the way I cope, because of what I do. It difficult for Kana us, and can't don't talk about it. My husband can try for listen, but I can see the in facial expressions. You know, as soon as I reach a certain line, he switches off, because it's emotionally challenging. So for me, those are the ways I cope.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing that. Una way they listen as well. We see comments coming in, questions as well. That's good. I know say Tibo sometimes when they watch the chats as well from time to time. Share with me the question. One question, a couple of questions that I go ask we all. How was the experience, or how this experience don't be so far? Una way they listen, and we within the discussion group here, so self now the panel here for think about has this experience, you know, it don't be too negative for you, and were there opportunities, it be positive for you, this whole pandemic, this 1 year. Waiting are the negative things that will happen, waiting are the positive things then, waiting are the opportunities that we create. So we'll let for Leona share that with me. Tibo, I come back to you. You hear what I say, and you obviously, I don't know, you own forced denial, whether usually is your coping mechanism and a deflection, not wanting to talk about the issue, because you did that with us where it came to Ebola. Yeah? What they call you? T-boy, come on as alone. Say, padima on a too like free business that too. Come out here now. Me they gonna away come on a me country. In that chest away. Say no they come on a country, people and they not lie, they all died. So I for come on at the country, go other side. So with COVID, I know we discussed that, you know, it was a bigger thing. We all get but was there a point where you be in denial as well, where it starts, and for let you cope again, for say, okay, well, I brace myself, but I go to deny for no more, I accept the reality. Tell me about.
Slightly different with COVID. I go say I look at them from two forms. One, is it real? And there's a lot of myth behind COVID. Say, oh, the West want for kill black people, they want for do this to black people, and they want to reduce the human race. So there was a lot of myth going around about COVID.
Conspiracy theories.
So what do you decide on? I'm like, okay, if this conspiracy theory is true, then I look at the China incidents when China come out officially. And I realize, but in China and Hong Kong, they've been wearing masks all the time, constantly.
Yeah, and they laugh them.
But they say, oh, the mask for them they wearing now for pollution, for make them breathe in fresh air. Okay, but when COVID actually starts in London, it was like a joke. And the numbers then begin for increase. People started dying in tens, 20s, hundreds, thousands. But the good thing about the West, they will not show you a graphic image of that. So you will not really see the reality, except if you're a frontline worker, like I sat at them and few other nurses, then you don't already commend for the hard work and dedication we put towards this particular pandemic, especially to the Sierra Leone community. I think this is one point in time where profession within a community become very useful, because I believe
we're valued, I should say.
Valued and useful as well, not just valued, because I believe we have a very large number of nursing practitioners within the community, and I think say possibly 5 or 4 out of 10 households within the Sierra Leonean community in the UK, predominantly within Southeast, they will have a nurse.
Right.
So it is sort of advantageous. So they may know a lot of what's in they happen within the community in terms of the health issues. But with me, I've always been home and people always walk in and out of my house. And you guys still keep telling me the same thing as usual. You and Femi. Oh, Timoy, you know, say you just number buy, you owe, you didn't make food go food stamp, and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, when I study, COVID, would I get for killing the killer anyway?
Mm-hmm.
But on a very serious note, I think at some point in time, every single one of us have suffered COVID, including me myself.
What do you mean?
Okay. There's a lot of symptoms. Why you laugh now? Why they talk? You're not good.
They laugh now. I sit and I laugh. So we say just laugh back at Isata.
Okay. There is a lot of symptoms of COVID. And during the time the way we put ourselves at real risk for like we join the COVID-19, you get certain people in life, Alexa they say them to go for go fix die. You they see the die so. But when they call you, need afraid for follow them. And Una. You get the likes of Femi, Juma, Isata, to name a few. And the others are not they call them. If they say die, they under. But they will choose for good. They're not afraid for good die. I will follow. Because you know what you do? And they say, well, lots of money die. I don't know what they do. You go die. Femi self go die. You myself go die. So basically, I take those risks. But these are very serious issues we are to laugh about. But not to say I take the risk on that form. But it's the fact that I trust these people so much and they will not put me at any risk. So if they are doing something that they believe in, I will go all out to support them because I believe their goal should be my goal. Their intentions to be anything that they want to be. If I can make a contribution to that, I will surely do that. So when I came up with the COVID thing, I'm like, okay, let's have a meeting. As usual, we should all discuss what upcoming and few more other people and we will bring coming. Well, I was called into it and then we set up a team. And I'm saying, okay, what role will I play here? I am not a nurse. And I don't drive. So basically, I should still play an active role. So I took up my own challenge as well. Okay, I will make sure this time around I cover every single aspect of COVID because I denied doing it in Sierra Leone because I think Ebola was at higher risk and the rate at which Ebola being kill people in a salon, there was no form of control in terms of preventions. Mm-hmm. So the risk there was extremely high. So I choose to stay home and don't do nothing, regardless whether I was going to be making money or not. I said no money is nothing. But when we are in London with the COVID thing, I voluntarily put myself up, even though I knew there were further risk. But I knew the precaution that we have around us was a bit good because we have so many nursing practitioners. And when I remember I didn't bring down the COVID, so I believe that they go don't pass that COVID they give me at some point. There was a point in time when my denial became real. I started feeling all the fevers, all the pain. At some point, myself told nurse. Because I mean, it targets every single nurse, including I need paracetamol. They don't understand. Why do you need paracetamol?
So you have been nurse paracetamol?
Me not be nurse paracetamol. Because the reason being, all the symptoms of corona was like malaria, similar to malaria. So when I have cold, I'm feverish, I have my full dose of paracetamol. You know, so I get paracetamol as the very complete dose of fever. Now from Femi and Papa, we mentioned thing, Papa na scientist. And Uncle GP will say to you, if you take your full dose of paracetamol, it means 2 in the morning, 2 something, 2 nights for 1 week. If you have any form of fever, it will go, because it means you've been consistent with taking your dose, which is what Sierra Leoneans don't do on an effective basis, because they will start to take their dosage of any kind of prescription halfway down. When they feel better, they stop. They don't really complete their doses of prescription.
So now prescription misuse, eh?
Well, I am not saying myself. I said most. Because me, they take me complete dose of paracetamol when I feel any form of fever. If I take it like 3, 4, 5 days in a week, that's it. So the idea of me saying COVID wasn't real only existed for a certain period of time. And the reason why I say majority of Sierra Leoneans, they don't catch COVID at some point, within the COVID team, there was a time where you would not see people for like a week or two. When you ask, what happened? Busy. But guess what? They do pepper doctor. And we know send a pepper doctor, because the following week they come fresh. Me last week, I been get fever. So soon a COVID if you don't get, but you take self, go sit down, you pepper doctor yourself, you well.
Yeah,
so there was a lot of risk involved. But the other side of them, we only get through with that whole period of volunteering in that particular period of time, because we had lots of nursing practitioners, then maybe they actually look after we indirectly by asking us how you feel, making sure that you have enough support around you. But it was not an easy task to go through that. And the doubts actually wiped out when we started seeing the figures growing in greater numbers. And I'm thinking, how would 1,000 people die a day? Wow, this is serious. And when they start locking down the country, and I realize it's extremely serious now. But the West will not create any fear in some of these sort of pandemics that are happening all over the world, compared to the way they will raise an alarm for issues like this in Africa. Because like when they start for make the reference to Africa, say, oh, Africa will face the worst of COVID. Now, because of the same kind of way how they raise the alarm of other pandemic that will not happen in Africa, they think if this can attack the West, we're well equipped medically. They have the system that will deal with anything like this in this kind of nature, and they don't suffer the amount of death they don't suffer. So if it hits Africa, a disaster. So the focus was in Africa to see what's going to be the outcome.
Right.
The fear in everything so far became real when you go through the first experience. But the reason we make an offer to say I don't get a full-blown COVID, now because of the other form of experience where people that we don't suffer with COVID don't go through, we are not possibly get none of those symptoms. The weak body, you need to go for waka. Of course, the taste, you lost some in and out. So I'm not saying that's a regular. But for the fact that people are really struggling to work and to breathe, I think is really serious.
So you don't have enough COVID if you get away, so you don't get full blown.
Well, I know what I get full blown, not the half enough one. Because to be honest to you, when you talk to a full blown COVID patient, I know it gets not even 10% of that experience. So I would say yes, maybe that few elements of fever, loss of taste, but I don't have any pains within my bones or feeling weak not to be able to walk at all. So definitely none of those. But yes, it was real, and it was really scary at the point at which I had to make a decision to say, well, you have to take it seriously. And I started to introduce the mask to the COVID team, which was again another thing that made certain things different in the way I look at it. Because my take was, I don't add 10 years because I've been old 36, so I put 10 more. So I've been old 36.
Yeah, 35.
Yeah, I've been old 35, so I put another extra 5. I said, we went on past 40. We should take COVID very seriously because it means you might think you're healthy, you might think you're fit, you might think you're capable of doing everything, but you don't know what is within your organ system that will destroy anything that will come in contact with COVID.
Right. Okay.
So I was really adamant about people not wearing masks while we were working.
I go get for come to we contribution them, you know,
Okay.
how we contribute for make things better and all that. And but go they think about that question as well, the negatives, you know, the positives and the opportunities then we COVID bring can, because every situation, I mean, also me like for look at things. For me personally, my own personal experience, you know, I want to start first with saying, you know, I tell God thank you. But in my whole life, I've never felt vulnerable like at this time. This is not the first time we actually consciously felt vulnerable. I scared, I freaked out, psychologically affected me a lot because I didn't know what was going to happen. More so, not more about me, but about people around me, my kids, you know, family. You look at it, the interesting parts, you know, say most times now we can worry about family members in Africa. But here you have a situation wherein they were more worried. My mom would call, you know, if you hear yourself something you sleep, you grab you, hello. They ask if na COVID you don't get, if you don't sick. Because then when they see the body they pack by bundle, like when you say, yeah, we know they see I'm better, right? Or sometimes they in denial, so now I watch the news again, it was too much and all that thing. And so they were like scared. But I never felt this vulnerable. I've been working from home since March. So now 1 year this. Been working from home. I tell you, been scared. Me trash for take them outside. Now middle net all man don't sleep. Now they take me trash go na do. And even that, I get for put 2 masks, address me like could they go fetch war. You know, that's how, you know, paranoid I be with this whole thing. I don't know why. And like when they say, okay, me not been doing a tongue during Ebola, but I've worked in Sierra Leone during the war. And I be they go aside away, you know, for say so rebel and then go attack at any time, then go kill people, you go fall into ambush, you must go into landmines and all that thing. But I was okay doing that. You know, January 6 come, rebel and they come when I go still come out when I go fend food and all of those things. But at least with that, you know the enemy you were against. But with COVID, this whole thing. So I begin to think, say, I get for move, maybe picking them for go not so free tongue inside village. I believe I remember now the village them. So T-boy, the inside the all don't travel go plan. So I think now whose village
number 48 go.
Yes, whose village will go where people are not boku, will go able for go there, you know, for the way we'll go feel safe. Honestly, these are the things that were running through my mind. This is how bad it was. I've never, the way I cried this time, I've never cried like that ever in my life. You know, me madam, I call him, I ask him, I say, we're waiting at the thing. Usa will go for go, take them, pick here, so low go. He said, yeah. But she was laughing because in a frontline person, so she was laughing about it and all that. And you remember, you say, you know, you picking and they ain't get for go walk and all that thing, and what will happen? You know, if you.
Oh, wait, so, Juma, I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Why does it make you be they cry? You say you know when they cry, so but waiting really be they make you they cry.
And they cry, like my kids are young. You know, if my madam will take a car, waiting go happen. You know, because I don't read so much with what you call them, the university and Imperial College. Then the research where they do. You know, initially count for some of the research coming out. Okay, it was not going to affect kids and all that, and then you begin to see some things say there is a sign. You know, say they're not confirming it, but say it will affect kids. I remember now, if my kids then get up, what thing will happen, then kind of thing. And so these are like the things we really be the bother me. Not to like for say for me particularly, because me no say now one say they die, we die and they come back, but more so for the kids. So the effects about family, and you don't know how much when you get picking them, how your life they change, how your thought process they change. So even it make, like I tell you, I not get my risk Because I remember, say, if I risk, then possibly I'm not going to be there to help them through the process. I will go risk for unnecessary things. So I've been home most of that time. Since COVID, I'll tell you, say 2 weeks ago now, I actually stepped out of my house voluntarily for go, I go say, okay, I go take breeze 2 weeks ago. All that time, if I get for comot usai a day, I get for go buy water and come. So now it got worse because they do delivery. So I just they order me shopping house. I'm home most of the time. I've been scared. So now I can say I've never felt this vulnerable in my life. So it's a humbling experience, for sure. Say, same girl for the week said afraid. T-boy say we're not afraid nothing. Because, outside of the fire gone out, they run for go.
Imagine. I say imagine.
Yeah, but this one, I was like scared, So, Isata, you don't ever, with this whole thing, you say duty of care, was there any moment where you scared, where you feel like, is it worth it to take all this risk while they take so?
To be honest with you, no.
Wow.
And that's the genuine, honest answer. It was no. Yes, I had deep moments, when I mean deep, thoughtful moments where, especially the term them now where we basically, because of the level, my status at my workplace, I'm a privy to a lot of information, probably way in advance before it comes to the general public.
Okay.
So for me, when we started talking about mobile mortuary, I was like, damn, this thing not big. And for me, when I begin get phone calls, say, care home, they hold the cover overnight, 55 don't die, I was like, wow. So when people they say, oh, the numbers, the government was making up the numbers, actually, I'm truly convinced, say, if anything, they downgraded.
They were conservative with the numbers.
Yeah, they were very conservative with the number because because the term them where we they see, because I'm community based, and the time they will they see the death then at the community, and nobody don't begin add the hits. They were the focus was only on the hospitals, the acute hospital. So the answer to your question is no. There was no time when I thought, am I doing the right thing? My thought was, how can I do this better?
Okay.
And come out alive?
So that leads to on a question, the thing with T-Boy talk about. You guys decided to form the Sierra Leone UK COVID response team, which commend una. You did something great, something extraordinary and exceptional for the Sierra Leonean community and people generally. I know a lot of people did a whole lot when it came to Ebola, but because Ebola was concentrated in Sierra Leone, possibly the diaspora population contribution was not seen that much. But this one, when I begin apart, people want to relate to it and all that. So how I come up with the idea first, and how waiting give una the courage for sustain and for keep on going as far as up to December, right, of this year, of last year?
Well, it's kind of still going in a skeletal form.
In full scale,
Oh, 19 weeks till I think till July.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
19 weeks till, the consistency changed after 19 weeks. Yeah.
How did you guys come about it? And also we don't do a whole lot program about that, but I just want you to summarize for people who are having opportunity for the first time for ERE about the SL UK COVID response work.
Well, SLUK COVID response team, basically, it was a collective effort. I will not sit here and take all the credits. It was one of those things where, like Tibo they say, when you're a healthcare professional, then you get people there around you where there's a share similar career pathway or passion. When anything that they happen, now they begin talk. So myself, to Abdul Wahab Sise and Harriet Matia, we be the talk because Harriet works in an acute setting as a nurse. DJ Litu works in a hospital as an infection control practitioner. So basically, we have this conversation, three-way conversation. I will call DJ Litu and say, hey, what do they do? You know, how is it? You know, because maybe they are updates about in hospital who side they work. So it started off with a check on and say how they cope, how did they cope? Because you know, so when that kind of thing there be, the first people that with the pressure they go on is infection control. How do they manage it within the hospitals? How do they, because most people will know the first wave, now the healthcare professional, they move on from one place to another because lack of PPE, lack of education, lack of awareness, and so on and so forth. So the pressure and burden was on the health infection control practitioners. So that's how we got talking, because of course, again, that with Diaspora Voices, me and DJ Litu, they talk a lot about the programs, the way they plan, and so on and so forth. So of course, with Harriet self begins notice differences in my hospital. So they call me to say, I say, okay, yes, expect this, and that. And then Harriet is one of the people actually will say, oh, they can't go now into this lockdown. What thing for happen with them people? There are some people that they're not good for able to come out. It's a way to get for do. But Harriet being Harriet, now somebody with now a feeder anyway, for years, many years. And that's the beauty about this thing. A lot of the people then will join the SLUK COVID-19 team, not just within this time, they do waiting we do so. They've been doing their stuff behind the scene, yes, in a smaller scale, but they've always been giving to other people. And then so you get we other sister we then call Nima, and then you get DJ Ish as well. We all begin to talk. So those were the first set of people that came together. Of course, me and Litu they talk, Harriet they talk. The next person we're drawing is T-Boy. I said, T-Boy, I got for need you. We're thinking of this. You need to put out a flyer. We need to start looking for support and help. And so I did an online live asking for help. And then people just started coming. So when people started coming, one of the things I had to do, and which was to make a tough decision, was a selection. Selecting the team without the team realizing that they were being selected. Because knowing what I know and what I foresee, I needed the right people, just not physically, but also mentally. I needed the people who were going to be in it for real, and also the people who were going to be in it for selfish reasons. I needed the people who are going to be in it because they just want to help. And that is why the SLUK survived the 19 weeks, and still we remain a family. And like I said, still we provide skeletal service, but most times it's just me now, or Harriet, or Nima, or another sister called Bachelin, because waiting happens, some of them people they are away will be the support. As much as they don't need that 100% support now, they still need 10%. So we're still kind of in their life in some way. We've not been able to step out. So that's how the COVID-19 came about, the SLUK COVID-19 came about.
Well, thank you so much for sharing. Well, that was a good job on our with the initiative and everything. And I'm sure you guys touched a lot of lives. We need our most at the time. They will be forever grateful. And for all the people that we support financially as well, well done. And other people we do similar programs them as well all over the world for reach out and help people because it takes more than a person for you in a vulnerable state for say, you know what, regardless, I still have to give back. It takes more than a person to be that selfless. Well done to you guys. Mr. Palmer, let's come back to this, topic about, or the conversation about, the negatives, the positives, and the opportunities. How each of them, and is there anything we want to point out on any of that, and to you personally, and to people generally, where you sabi this whole COVID thing? Because we all for the first thing are fear and I run down, we panic, but I'm sure up until today, we're still not in acceptance, say it's here, that this is the new normal for now. We're still not in acceptance, we're still in denial, say, really, this did happen? So share with us if you have any of those stuff about the negatives, the positive, and the opportunities the way this pandemic create.
Well, obviously, we'll begin with the negatives. As I said earlier on, we've all lost somebody in some way or another, in some shape or form, either directly or indirectly, and which is sad. So many people have died around the world for COVID-related reasons, and other and they don't die not because they get COVID, but because sometimes they're not able to access healthcare because the hospital then be overwhelmed. So personally, I know quite a few people and we affected that we did. I know some we actually don't pass. Colleagues, them, friends, family, we all demand from time to time during this last year. Over the whole Christmas period, it hits we all quite a lot because, especially in the UK and in America, we begin to see the death toll them were crazy. We begin to see them bury people in mass graves. And one of the issues then I think see psychologically affects Boko people them, and the fact see you're not able to go hospital for go see your loved one, we really sick, and see something not get for make you not get the opportunity they say he died, then go bury him in possibly in an unmarked grave because at some time they begin to die and they you not get all the incident and we culture it's never closure not ever happen if we not actually see where they put the people them and say goodbye to we loved one them. So as Africans we're very clingy to we people them and we love for see that final goodbye, and I think a lot of people then struggle with Dandy. But you're right, where a door closes, a window of opportunity opens. So for we realize sometime like this last year, we realized say we have certain skills so we can we can put out to the community and help the community out. So in a bad way or in a selfish way, we actually kind of get some opportunities them for showcase we skills them and for help the community as it is for cope with this. So we'll begin do this program. We realize say we're home, we've got a lot of time on our hands, so let's help on communication. Let's help to entertain people. And so whilst they're home, they get certain ways, sometimes go make them laugh, or go get the information, or go educate them in some way. We'll begin reach out to people that we know we get connections, we get knowledge in certain areas, we begin bringing in our platform. And it kind of grew to some crazy numbers. Then people then begin call me and say, you know, you guys have a bit of technical know-how. We get begging, you know, what, you know, how can we, you know, do this? Some of people I know say even before COVID, when they go places like Royal Regency and we used to stream live, so people realize, say, you know, we could help. And you know, we do one begging, we do another one, the word spread, we do another one, we do another one, so, you know, this week here we get 5 different begging them for do this week, and 3 of them inside one green day. So you know, we believe, say, these are the little things that we will do for help the community. Isata is one of the people that we will get for thank, and sometimes chastise as well, because you know, as you see, when the opportunity can go T-boy, and you know, whenever she gets called, because she does a lot of work in the community, especially we cancel people that we know, or families that we get bereavement and not able for meet up the finances. So Isata steps in. She's got a team of people where they come help. We get all kind of different skills, and either they do it for cheap, or they do it for next to nothing, or they do it for nothing. Isata will call those people, and we know one of the end we Isata they call. But not to Isata no more. We get Haja Marie. Haja Marie has been very instrumental. She's on our phone every day. Hey, una get for help me. So and so. We need get another funeral na Salon. We'll get funeral na England. We'll get funeral na Gambia. You know, these people, you know, not just those 2 ladies. There's others that reach out to us. But you know, we're grateful, because, as I say, it gives us the opportunity to showcase what we can do. But then we're happy to help. And something in the, you know, the feedback that we receive is great, because you see some of the family and friends are saying, we know me for able go this begging. Thank you guys. And you know, you when you look inside person eye, where they tell you that thank you this, so it's so genuine. It makes you feel like, you know, you've helped, you've done something. You know, with families, you know, you always have little squabbles. You know, even yesterday will be NEPA 1. Some people, they want to see the body, other and they don't want to see the body. So there's all that, you know, and we have to manage the situation. You know, it's incredible. I never thought I would actually be engaged in stuff like this, but I am grateful. I'm proud. I thank the Lord that I have the opportunity to help. And you know, so although we don't suffer in the last 12 months, we believe, say, COVID has given us the opportunity to showcase what we're able to do to the wider public.
Right. Well, thank you so much, and thank you to you, because if they say with the trouble, no, I'm not sure so the trouble anybody reach you a camp and they burying them, you know. Tiba, you able for almost burying them we don't do from June of last year to date.
You are telling me so you burying counting. Anyway, I'm not going to say I can count them off head, but that I think I wish that also. It's that Ajamai. Why they call them that? Not to disrespectful, but these are the people who've been in our cases. Like, we are all.
Ajamai, I would say now we fringe producer. That's what he's listening in a good way. Thank you so much.
No, but on a very serious note, when this thing started with Isata calling the first shot, and Ajamari calling the second, Isata called the third, Ajamari called the fourth, then Isata, I'm like, we are literally part of funeral directors per se, to the extent that some funeral directors saw me at work at some point, and he looked at me, do you do this for living? I'm like, no, voluntarily within the community, but yeah, we just support. He said, you should do this for living. I'm like, why? He said, because this is money. I'm like, I know, but we still have a community to serve. So basically, it started off like, we want to help out, and it becomes something that is mandatory now. not helping us anymore. But I would say it gets to the point when it becomes very challenging. Like Femi is saying.
Exactly, like when you say T-boy. Because where do you draw the line? If you don't do for A, like how Femi said, forget closure, it's challenging. If you're not able to do it. But now they know for say, the closest I can be for pay last respect now through this Zoom for this person.
Well,
then Mr. X don't come, you don't do him for him. Then when Mr. Y come, how would you tell Mr. Y that no, I will not go able for do him? So you
yeah, go ahead. That one is better. The one when are the most challenging one. I said in Ajamai when they say Muslim back in there, and they call you because I was a Muslim back not today for tomorrow or today for today.
Yeah.
Then they still about him. When I call them.
Yes. So,
because basically it is challenging.
Yeah.
Because themselves they see the kind run around before we say yes for take that particular burial day. We go don't rally around with self-force. We not say, well, we have to. So we the face the sleepless night, especially you, with a couple of hours with something in there. And Mike say, "Tibo left you and he go sleep." I say, why? He said, because looking at also as well. Therefore, I'm not community service to do. Lay work. But it's not an easy thing. So basically, the burial one, that's a total different challenge on its own. And then again, as Femi say, we find something that we can give back to the community, and that becomes another issue. Because it means we have to engage people. You have to engage them in such a way that you take away the worries of COVID and plug in something else which will be beneficial for the worries of COVID. Because that's not some of the benefit. But the other benefits now, when you have people that are not very comfortable in their household, some people they don't make a relationship with them, with them, they're picking them as a family unit. Because it means the dad leaves in the morning. When the dad comes home, the mom is out. When the dad leaves in the morning, the kids are going to school. When the kids come back home, and Papa no day, sometimes my mother, they on the way they come, they begin again for sort things out. But when COVID comes, it makes a different changes within the household. It means Papa wakes up in the morning with the noise of the kids. He has to deal with that. Mom has to do a lot of more cooking. After that, they testified and the in shopping increase. The shopping increased from £50 to maybe £100.
I didn't tell you. I mean, feel say when this lockdown begin, I said, Papa God, thank you. They can't save money because we're not going for the go then social event there anymore. Needless did I realize that, you know, your utility bills, they go up.
Yeah.
You shopping, like T-Boy say, oh my God. Anyway,
so
T-Boy, carry on.
It wasn't easy, but if you look on the other way around, it brings on so many benefits for family units. It makes the family units that will be done, they almost go apart, becomes really tighten up because you now know the nature of your kids, you know how your kids behave at home when you are not at home. So it brings a different dynamics to how family units should now be, to the extent that you now have to spend time with the kids. Again, you get some parents, we're not even really bother about them picking their schoolwork or homework. Sometimes the kids have to do it by themselves. But guess what? You get some parents that they say, oh, no, let me both do it on laptop, iPad. I'm not interested in technology. So basically, it gives them self-knowledge.
So now the parents are just go learn the technology because
Thank you. So it gives them opportunity for learn the computer where they begin again, they all day when they watch. Let's say begin learn the skills of homeschooling because again, we not get our community, they were very close together with the family, they teach them picking at school, look at their homework. Very few do, but I'm talking about the majority, not so on our fault, but it's the fact that people they get for go find work, they get for find a living, they get for make sure they make something at the table for make them begin and eat. But that was one of our priority as Sierra Leonean parents. Not a thing like for say other aspects of being a parent is highly more so important than just putting in front of the table and shelter and clothing. But COVID make we become more responsible and attached to we picking them and we wife and partners them, because it means we now all live in the same house for 24/7. You don't have a choice. So imagine the one day now we be.
But that reality they different for somebody like we, because I live in a different state, my family is in a different state. So the downside, are not able to go as often as I supposed to go because of travel restrictions, because of fear, and all of that. So there
are downsides to that as well, which I agree.
That's one thing where for me can kill me, sometimes, and because I was like, you see, look at them, they're there, where they call you, talk on video, and they like, oh, when are you coming? You say, I don't know yet. You understand? So those things sometimes it can be dangerous. But like we say, for majority of people, it gives people an opportunity for sit down, deal with their family, eat together. Some people not be ever get an opportunity there for sit down and share a meal with their family. But with COVID now, you don't have a choice. You're stuck in the same house. Even if you're not the first safe, who's that you want to go? You know, for go outside. You get for sit down at the house there. No, na keep malice. So how na go keep that malice for let the pikin there know? Una know the pikin there no go know. So una force for solving a problem then in a way where the pikin there no go know as well.
Yeah. So I think it was a good thing. That's one good side of COVID, because it brings the family units closer to each other. It brings the family units to understand each other more. It makes the family units come very tighter for me able to know the challenges that each parent they face at home when the other not there. It gives the parents a total sense of responsibility within a home setting. So, like right now, I not say but people in one for goodness sake. But guess what? They're now used to that family unit. They now know the value of family units. So even if they decide to go out because they feel bored, staying at home alone and all with these kids, it now makes a difference for them to come back and say, oh, I need to go home, because me picking no use for make I read them bedtime stories. I don't use for do their homework. I don't get involved in their life. So basically, you don't want to break that unit no more. You just want to continue the unit, even though you get for live your separate life. But at the same time, you now get a responsibility.
Last this question inside there, and this time for our team, I get for answer this one. You know, then can say under normal term, yeah. Under normal circumstances, not so this new normal, the normal we use for no. Winter by summer term, na beaucoup pool na do de. But I don't know why make during this COVID, we not get about pool na do them better. I said that. So what happen? We not get pool na do them better. What happen? The family, the mama and the papa, they're not keep busy on a wait step. On a friend.
Well, I think
I don't get for answer that question though.
The reason why we know hear about pool na do that is not that people are not born. People that are still born. It's just that because of the rules and regulations, they call you pool na do.
Okay, so
but people that they born. I know quite a number of people that were not born. I know quite a number of people that they expect. So people that don't born and they continue for born, but the normal we don't know about them because of the current situation.
Okay,
you know.
It don't
now that's me.
Question,
but as you see, no man now where them go lift up all the lockdown. You begin see people there. They see new baby now there, and they want to say, hey. When?
Yeah. How this happen?
Because a man, now during this lockdown, they don't touch the belly. And now during this lockdown, they don't born. Remember, so don't do this 1 year.
Yes.
9 months.
You are a bit politically sensitive. But me, I can go politically unsensitive. The fact of the matter is...
the egg panic case.
The egg panic cake. When lockdown not there, now beaucoup girlfriend and the born picking. Plenty girlfriend and the born picking. And the born picking for them and they were married. So basically, now the man and not for gonna street for girlfriend. The girlfriend.
So you say because na girlfriend.
I say so. And not say so, listen to me. You like forgive us in problem. La rephrase.
Simple question.
It looks simple, but not simple. La rephrase.
Okay.
Usually make you know that you about Punlado and naming ceremony, if not the Christian way them call them or christening. Because the girlfriend they born picking and beaucoup past the one they were married. Take yourself years back. How many Punlado that way don't go where they say the papa na this? I'm not saying it's not anything wrong with that, but I have witnessed a lot of naming ceremony Punlado and boku. You no need for ask where the papa.
And then I know the photographer.
So they ask for the papa. Now the pikin wanna go Punlado for na the concentration.
That's correct. The pikin na the priority. Now the pikin wanna can name, but the Muslim party stop last week and they making put smart panel. They say we need to Punlado pikin will not see the papa. And if the papa not marry the woman, we need Punlado the pikin. So basically, we will get Punlado and put schooler.
The same day.
Since COVID day, all the married man is on a house, all the girlfriend is on a house. So, another thing I say the born pikin and not the but after COVID lockdown done.
Now we have to do this.
Like I said, I say, we go to see the new baby born them. And then new baby born them, they not get question where they ask because you never say, now the married woman, then they see one more cool picking in this trip. So look, we just watch them and see. It's not no talk. So basically, 5 months from now, when I go see the reality, this not just against anybody, it's just the reality of the dynamics of the statistics of what you ask. So?
Yeah.
It's not a finger pointing on anybody.
No.
Now, just the fact, Femi just a shake in camera because you want for dodgy question.
No, now I get for ask next.
Okay. You come here and for hamburger at all, so we shake and not.
So Femi, you agree?
See, Femi, when gonna marry those? Go like ballet. So go see the reports.
It gonna what you call a Maasai County, yeah, Mau Society.
Yes, yeah, go Mau Society. So go see the reports. ICT boy don't say so. The reports go come out.
Go come out.
You know,
because
see.
This way, COVID, 4 months from now.
This way you don't talk so. Not true. Now we take paper and pen. Or now go now. We note them now. We phone them. Now begin take record now. It's not good. Now we said we've got to do we own census so.
Yes.
You know.
The COVID picking them, eh?
The COVID picking them, and you want to the married woman COVID picking them, and the girlfriend COVID picking them because now we lock down the girlfriend business not it.
I mean. So what did you comment on my question? But honestly, now a honest question I ask now because all the Zoom the world don't do, yeah, all now 99.9999% now bearing, okay.
Then half married.
No, married and not past 3 we don't do married it, okay. Then now 1 gram pool now they don't call we for when at this last couple of days ago. For do, but you know the timing was short, right? 1 gram Punlado. So now that I make a member say, so people are still the born. And people say COVID don't hit. Femi, go ahead.
Juma. Left. I tell yourself, you don't begin. You don't mix with Juma and Tibo and provoking. Okay, so really and truly,
I don't say nothing. I just say no more. This the inception period and the delivery period.
Nah, inside 1 year.
We get 12 months lockdown inside that 1 year day. And they don't born. So now expect for begin see new baby born them.
Yes.
But we'll not see belly.
We'll not see belly. We'll just see baby them.
So, belly, we'll not witness them.
So at work, I get I work in a building we get 3,000 people in. So after the first lockdown, we kind of reopened for a brief time, and I find out see almost people within maternity leave. you know, and I was kind of shocked because the numbers are a lot different than how the numbers in Kinde usually.
So meaning the higher or?
Yeah, it's a lot higher. I mean,
Okay.
so many people were on maternity leave, and it was crazy, and obviously it was because we didn't know, so we know they see not so like would they work at kids, would they go events, would they see people of Bele. So all of a sudden, you know, I went to work one day, and then I got a list of some of my staff and other people, them receptionists, you know, all the people there. I asked for that person, say, oh, you did maternity leave. I asked for that person. I don't know, say, hey, this lockdown here, so them say, oh, stay away from people them.
Yeah, social distancing.
You know, government for the begin find some of them people there. So, but then you know they lifted the lockdown, and I traveled because my wife they work away from the UK at the moment. A day in East Africa, so I traveled to East Africa, and you know, and then that day I actually shocked because actually they not been get the lockdown not been as strict as here. They been get a curfew, and when would they go shopping? Literally inside the place, every other woman had either was carrying a baby or them pregnant. And I was like, wow, all them girls are so pregnant in this country. Now me we've turned around and talk, say, well, not to the all man day 30,000 miles away. So,
so now the
you know,
yeah.
So, but you know, I already have 2 children, so at the moment, we watch how they go. That's all I would say for now.
I say we won't.
But
I say,
what did you say, Juma?
I say we won't say thing. We wait and see. From the
we're not the same thing.
Now December bingo, Now December bingo.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's begin count. So December to now.
You wait no more, see.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. You know, until you know, say nothing when they go beyond before they go.
Also candle in
so easy. Yeah. The other thing back, we also man, we didn't want to work. Some man will say, person is working from home. Why all of a sudden this person they work from home? They're shielding, they have to shield. What was it mean that they shield? Any medical problem? Expecting. I'm like,
she's
so this person had, you know. Yeah.
So not be the social distance where they shield.
So this thing, it get in negative, but the positive, them well, the positives are plenty.
You know, one of the lessons where like the kind statistics so that they give, so if that's really not true, one of the lessons they will for land now, say we salon people left for say then country people here so then a village they like for born picking they all turn and they born picking there. Look, that they don't born down, they look at the picking and then feel between them. That they 6 months, that they 1 year, that they 8 months, that because they always 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock. They all don't go inside television or they not going for go up the road and pop, they're not going for go in a jazz bar, all that thing and they so I don't say waiting lockdown can do. Then people they be on there on permanent lockdown. See boy. You can say them upline people and they born boku picking them. So now you don't even see the reason we make you just see that they born every day.
No, that not for be a reason we make people for the born picking every day because again you get for be disciplined enough for not say regardless the nature at which you get access or then are host 24/7 with your wife or your husband, not necessarily mean you just have to be making babies. You have to get control.
Okay.
Of how many kids you have to get and why you have to get this amount of kids. So basically that's the challenge you face as people are within our host. But yeah, again, like I say, there's a various different ways of how you can deal with the situation if you're not for born boku picking. Okay. But that's not your reason. And sometimes maybe they say when you come back to work, he gets most of his colleagues already maternity leave. Well, after COVID, inside summer, we get for a witness plenty people now do. But like I say, like we take book and pen now for begin mark the one they win a married people now do picking them. Also married people now do picking them. It will be very interesting for see.
Interesting. Well, thank you so much for that, T-Boy. Let we begin now for roundup. Isata, is this gonna be the new normal for a long time, or are we gonna go back to what we used to know as our normal? And that as well, what are the lessons, where we don't learn or we don't learn so far, a year on, this week since lockdown? What are the lessons that we don't learn for help with society and the world at large?
Wow. I think from a normal perspective, I think it's going to take us a long time to go back to the normal will be known as normal pre-COVID, because this and this are going to be around for a long time. Alcohol gel, your face mask, they're going to be around for a long time until, a reasonable time. Although things are looking promising from a vaccine point of view and from the R rate point of view and so on and so forth. But wait till me go like for tell me brother and sister them, and mama and papa them, in terms of contributing towards going back to the normal, we all got for play we role. And one of the role where we for play and for take we vaccine if they offer unto we. Because I feel say until a decent amount of people get the vaccine, it will be difficult for us we go back to normal. Like Professor Witty say, and they say time and time again, COVID therefore become the new flu, where during the winter season, we go see a spike. And then during the summer, that goes down. And with the vaccine not a prevent you from get the virus or for being infected. What in the vaccine they do is it kind of reduces your risk of hospitalization. So they try for ensure that when your body meet the virus, the live virus, if they recognize them, then it is able to manage some of the symptoms and the infection accordingly. So that is why it's very important for let we do that. Until we do that to a very reasonable level, we're going to have to deal with the new norm. And one of the new norm is the mask. Like I say, the face mask. This is gonna take a while for us to get rid of her. And I think we would only begin to enjoy the normal when we get rid of the mask. But that's not gonna be around yet. What was the other question?
Lessons learned.
Lessons learned. There's been lots of negative and positive lessons learned. Lessons learned as a whole and in general is that this just teach we say there is a supernatural being out there that when he or she wants us to stop, we have to stop.
Right.
Amidst all the world powers, amidst all the nuclear weapons, amidst all the bio weapons, amidst everything when the Western world and the world powers get. When this virus decides say we're going to be at a standstill, we were at a standstill. So Mother Nature is talking to us to say, I am in control. It's a lesson learned because it actually make people then stop and reflect. Like I say earlier on, it made people stop, they reflect, and then they try to reconnect. We don't joke and laugh about now we go see more married woman and they born Pekin than girlfriend and so on and so forth. But this is all the positives because it actually allow families that will not be to spend time together. And then the other positive, it actually allow relationship, they will not be the work, where people then be there in denial, say it they work. It actually make them realize and make best decisions to say, you know what, this is not working. I cannot take this, you know, which is healthier than being in an abusive relationship in whatever shape or form. So that again is a positive. A positive from the perspective that we look at different innovative ways of doing things. You know, what you and us are doing here right now. You know, a year ago we didn't think about Zoom. We weren't doing Zoom. Zoom was a thing for meeting, but it was, you know, it was around, but we weren't paying attention to it. So that is a positive. Another positive for me personally within the Sierra Leone community, it brought the community together. Seeing what the community did when we set up the Sierra Leone UK COVID-19 team, for me, it made me realize and appreciate the community even more, you know, because when you think of feeding people for 19 weeks and we community fund that, either financially, either through providing essentials, either through cooking hot meals, either through delivering the food, volunteering. It was all our community. So that community spirit, that community unity, that community love, for me, that was the icing on the cake for me. And you say, what made me get up every morning? Those are the things that made me get up every morning.
Right.
So it made me appreciate life better and more, and put things into perspective. This was a time, it was a time of reflection. Yesterday is the National Day of Reflection, but the whole year has been an opportunity to stop, reflect, and reconnect. And then you have the opportunity to then refire yourself and say, okay, well, this is what I've learned. I can pass this on, or this is what somebody else has learned. I can take it on, and so on and so forth. So for me, in a nutshell, the positives have outweighed the negatives. Yes, we've lost a lot of people. Yes, it seems like more people than ever, because the reality is, whilst the COVID, they kill people, other people are dying naturally as they should have. But because we don't have the distractors, when I say distractors, like our social events. Now in community, we get lots of social events. There's no weekend that I don't have an event to go to or function. So that we never really appreciated the value of that, being able to socialize, being able to go and meet other people and just chit chat and have a banter and dress up and make that effort. We never really appreciate that. It's these 12 months we've appreciated that. And because of that, we have felt death. We have felt the gravity of death, because people were dying. People have died more than ever. However, because we don't have those distractors to allow us and ensure that we cope and there's a balance, it's made it difficult. So that's where I'll stop for now, Juma.
Cool. All right. Thank you so much, Aisha, for sharing, and thank you again for your service to the community and to your profession as well, and as well as to the health show. Now you are part of the CIGM Media family. Let's see, T-Boy, over to you. What are the lessons, and also how do you think is this going to continue for a while? But one thing I've been almost forget to ask you, how many masks that we don't repair since since COVID, since lockdown to date? And thank you for your service, because people don't understand how much that contribute to saving lives. Thank you.
Well, as you say, thank you. I appreciate it so much. And
don't say but. I don't want you to add a but there, because possibly you want to downplay, you don't know this, the importance of, because there was a time, remember, there was a time where mask noddy. Remember what I said to say, nurses then become carriers because of them not being getting full PPEs, where some of them we get for use one grade mask for a long period of time, or they don't have it, and you begin, prepare mask for cater for a specific group. Some people were not able to use that one, they will suffocate them, or because it tight. You became innovative about a lot of things. So these are all things that the CRGM media, network, the T-Boys production, CRGM media does what una know they see. Coming here to talk is just a tiny bit of a whole lot of things that will happen. So go ahead, Tiba. I don't want you to downplay it. That's why
I know me, I'm very good at downplaying things, isn't it? Yeah. But anyway, it was a great experience, and I feel I don't highlight almost everything about the advantages and disadvantages of COVID within our community. And it also highlights a lot of beneficials a lot of benefits that we have we gain from the community and the community gain from we. It also don't highlight a lot of things that we take for granted within our community. We will not be able to put face value to. But it's all good. But when Juma mentioned how many masks we had produced since lockdown, I'm not able to tell you the count. But I would say on a very serious note, when I started doing masks, it was for fun. And again, I want to contribute towards the COVID-19 rapid response team way below, because I don't drive, like I said, and I'm not a nursing practitioner. I wanted to do something different from my profession, which is media. And as you know, I begin to think, well, okay, what thing I would do different? Where I go for contribute towards this COVID thing? And I go online and I realize mask. Oh, okay, mask. I think I can sew. I get some amount of sewing skills. And I decided begin to put mask together. Say me now where I'm very curious about doing something, I'll go the extra mile. I begin shop online, buy fabric, buy boku thing can put down. Go online, check for patterns, begin cut pattern, begin put pattern together, and begin put together my very first few masks. And when I start, I'm like fun, okay, let's start to do masks, and I bring I do 15 for the first COVID thing. Where I take and go, oh, this is nice, oh, T-Boy, thank you. Everybody had a copy, or everybody gets one. So that's how the mask production starts. After that, again, that woman is, so I can tell her, say, anything where you wait, that is not saying that we get that people. Anything where you see, where you say this, let's pursue it. I will do the enough for him. He says, T-Boy, everybody's asking me about my mask. Can you do another design? You say, I'm not going to use it for work. I said, I will do it. And do different design. And then he said, but T-Boy, why you not going to do your mask now in African fabric? I said, oh, so you want to make a kangaroo buy African fabric back again? I said, okay, I will start. And when I begin to do the one with the African fabric, I begin to do in numbers. So I will do like a 20, 30, I put them down. Wait, come. He said they want all the mask now in place, so you have to do more. Now mask production I start so Juma. And they do 40, 50, after you can take. Okay, I begin put on 10 per packet. Then I get self-cam. T-Boy! Mask. I'm like, well, it's not so color start with so. Until the mask became something where everybody begins to say, oh, T-Boy, I like your mask. And where I begin go work, most of him boss them, or almost in entire office or in entire hospital. Now me mask the one. I'm like, nah, it can't be possible. Because when it starts, I mean, they hesitate to say, okay, control measures of the mask. People might not be comfortable to use it.
But, that was the first thing we ask, exactly. How about, whether it will be certified because no one give people focus
Thank you. So we will look at the production side of things. How will it be produced within a safe environment where people are not able to feel, say, okay, we don't know how this mask come out. Where I can wear them. So basically, when the nurses start to wear it and they like it and it fits them well and it's comfortable, everybody starts asking for masks. Asata begins in demand for the order them from 10 to 20 to 50 to 100. And then I begin to realize, okay, I mean, get one first funeral with them. Okay, let's do mask just for satisfy and give the people all to go to this funeral. Again, I start, oh, Tim, I want me your mask for make it personalized. I'm like, okay, what you want for putting up? Oh, I want to put the health show logo. That's another invention. Again, that one starts back. Everybody wants their mask to be personalized. Going on. We begin attend burials. Again, I said, this, you know, he left for put me one problem. T-boy, this bearing way at the camp for sky for help for puts together. I want you to do mask for them. I'm like, but I can't. You say, why not? Because they say they want mask. They don't see me mask in the lecam, so they say they want mask. I'm like, sir, it will take time. You say, try. You go for doing, I go try. Again, we start producing masks in 50s, in 100s, in 150, in 300s. Again, I said, sir, I call a mini funeral director. Now, just the funeral home number, you know, guess right now. But sometimes we'll put the funeral home next somewhere in Southeast, because at the end of the day, she is actively involved in anything they get to do with community. And there are times not to say we'll not even forget involved with, but you not get choice when Isata is involved in something and she believes in you. So you have a limited amount to say, no, I can't. Now, okay, how can I make it possible? Currently, I am involved with a funeral home that I have to produce masks every single day.
So because the funeral home, then they get buried every day.
Every single day.
And then they order personalized mask.
They order personalized mask for the burial.
As part of the package, where then they give to
every single day.
Juma, now you know why they ask for me stylus. Because I need for the right the order them for the
the order them for the mask there.
But one thing I go say is the positive side of this whole COVID thing. Now, if you have a career or a profession, take it seriously, because you don't know when the break will come. Now, take on, for example, people that will be done, they run funeral homes for the past couple of years, and they've been struggling to have a funeral a day. Now, they are extremely overwhelmed with funerals because
they get for book by appointments back.
Forget appointment. They have to book you like a month in advance. Otherwise, you will not have a burial space. So that is how much.
Don't self now. You get for dinner waiting list for dinner being gone.
Of course, because we've attended many funerals. They hold a Zoom in terms of sharing that sort of closure to family members. We get for dinner queue.
Yeah, even for go dig something and so now anybody don't reach, you get for wait stay and dig now.
No, Juma. We get for dinner queue for both Muslim burial. Yeah. Because you know say Muslim burial na today for today or today for tomorrow.
Yeah.
So the queue, then we say come na the mosque first for janaza. If you get for go get the janaza, if then you time say come 9 o'clock, it means there's another janaza at 10.
Yeah, so you get for do quick and commodity.
Quick and commodity, because they literally practically they rush you for come and go, come and go, come and go. And when you go back to the being one, you will see fleets of mortuary vehicles with corpse inside waiting. And in the time when I say it's going to be 15 minutes, so what you do, you just drive through. So it becomes very intense. So what they say is, if you take your job and profession seriously, you don't know when the break will come through. So like all they want to be, they run funeral home, they think they're running it at a loss, they've made serious amount of money. That's not the one, I would say, advantage and disadvantage. Because guess what? Burial don't have no protocol. You have to pay for your loved one to be buried. regardless what the
It's not a business we need pull Sarah for.
At all not. If you're lucky, you have family members or you have community that can rally around you in case you don't have the final finance or the total finance for cover the burial, then yes, you're lucky. But otherwise, nobody wants to have their loved ones to be buried or not to have a befitting funeral. So you have to go all out. And some funeral directors are now making money. They're milking the money because the demand is extremely high, whilst others are also taking into consideration the passion behind the loss for people who have to go through bereave. So they have some amount of compassionate things that they will do to you. They will ask you for a few things. They will say to you, okay, we can provide you this. They make it a bit easy. So I would say, I am not saying don't go to any funeral home, but find a funeral home that understand the needs of us Africans, that will be in the position where they're able to accept some of we norms.
We go cater for.
Thank you. Because we get to the unpractical way of looking at things, even when it comes to burial. So I would say, let's find our own in terms of the businesses they already do, and let's find our own in terms of the funeral directors they will defend. And not say not go other side, but find somebody who will be able to accommodate some of the formalities they will get within the African concepts. So yeah, there's been a lot of advantages and disadvantages. So most of the people that will possibly suffer a lot of loss during COVID as the disadvantage, now the one they will get up from their home and physically go work. So now, one thing you don't realize, the work scale at which people do not make money are either delivery drivers or cab drivers. But on my way from dropping off some masks a couple of days ago, I've been talking to the cab driver, and we realized one thing, and I also realized one thing. What thing I realized now, the fact say, these people are not just doing these things that they're doing for nothing. My opinion, right? If you watch the rate at which jobs then they go now, if you're not IT literate, you are not a care, how you call it, essential worker,
a healthcare practitioner.
Well, I would say essential workers. If you are not in any of those categories, you are literally going to find yourself unemployed. Practically. So if you not get a choice, you know the under the category they are literally forcing the minority community down that direction.
Right.
So what now you see, there is a lot of minority community where they into delivery, cabin, and what's now the what do I talk this now? An essential working environment. If you were there before, fine. But if you're not there beforehand, that is the direction you have to go now, because your options are limited. If you not get IT skills, you cannot work from home. If you not get any work where you do from home, where go benefit your office, you really don't have a job. Because like you say, Juma, because of your technical skills in your ability to communicate and in your ability to do whatever you're doing, that is why you have a job right now. It's got nothing to do with your career path. So Femi, very fortunate. He's so skilled in IT and communication. He doesn't even need to go to work. And he's highly needed. His demand in his workplace is extremely even higher now, even the way he works from home. Equally so with Isata. So basically, among we self right now, we're lucky for them in a position where they so, because we not just fall under the category of essential workers, but we also have other subsidiary skills that really make the potential for still be employed. So you have to take your work seriously.
Okay.
That is what I would say as one of the advantages of COVID. The disadvantages of COVID is plenty. But if I can't begin to name all, we're not done. But it kind of creates a barrier for normal people not to have normal conversation anymore. And there will come a time, one-to-one, face-to-face conversation will be the most expensive thing to do. And the other disadvantage is the fact that you have been traced, or you can be traced, tracked, and pinpoint in any part of the world.
Right, because of technology.
Because of technology. And then they put me down that road. Is all about control mechanism. You might think it is a myth or conspiracy theory, but it is facts.
Okay.
It is facts. We cannot avoid that anymore. That's the thing. You must say they don't need you or they don't want you.
Hopefully we'll get them next week, you know.
Exactly.
That's a discussion for another day, isn't it? That's a whole topic on
exactly. So I just want to steer them no more. Let me understand that kind of concept. So basically, we get for look at research, and we get for love each other, and we get for share much love, because now you don't have an excuse to say I do go work or I tire or I just come out work or unable to do XYZ. The other disadvantage is there is going to be a lot of obesity in the summer because many people have stayed home, just eat, sleep, drink, and don't have the luxury to exercise. Jump on the back wagon with DJ Little and Ish. That is what they're there for, and they will give you that support.
Yeah,
so
that's
basically
at the UK. Then also, you know, Sub-Saharan Media have done launch the fitness.
Yeah.
Show with Tom
Campbell and Reyes. And again, the reason for that is now for create an atmosphere where gets a lot of vacuum, because it means if Wahab and Ishmael do their own, they have their niche. Some self will get in your niche. Somebody else will get in your niche. So let's try to encourage people to come on board and do some of these things.
And the good thing about those then two fitness thing that you don't pay anything about. You know,
exactly.
You're not going to pay membership fee. All you need to do now, you live in room, you turn up, you know, you switch onto the program, you know, you join them, then get skills in their areas, then they in fitness and things like that. They'll show you tips. You're not going to do them perfectly, but over time, it will be very helpful to you. You avoid a lot of problems there. And anyway, we're not going to talk about the health benefits of that. We will leave them for the health show.
But before I forget, the easier make the Fitness for All not be online for week 2 now. Now, because of what we highlight earlier on, I talk about you not believe. Now, married man, they're no more now, they're officially born.
Okay. All right. I wouldn't say thing.
So, Tom is a new father.
Congratulations.
Officially a new father. So he got to take time off and console and wrap around and bring love into the new family way of make. Then make you not do the show for the past 2 weeks, but definitely he's gonna be back on board next week Monday. But those are some of the advantages and disadvantages of COVID. So we have to be very mindful.
Cool. Thank you so much, T-Boy. Mr. Palmer. So lessons learned, and is this going to be our normal for the longest time, or are we expecting any, you know, twist and change for the better by summer? And which thing will be your last message for today's program? So as we round up.
Hi, Juma. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, sir.
So, okay, so, you know, it's a shame that the show get for comes an end. I want to talk a few things about the industry I find myself. So
Go ahead,
I'm in the entertainment industry, if I can call it, so events industry. And as T-Boy say, all things get in time. So when COVID or lockdown just begin, the events industry and cement industry was hit really, really hard. You know, we all hear about our pub the lock, we hear about our cinema the lock, we hear about our theater the lock, party the no day, you know, DJs suffered, still they suffer. You know, events in general. So at work, we do high-end events, but because of social distancing, we had to stop. We couldn't accommodate, forget a lot of people in a room together. So literally, I should say most of them don't follow what's happening at the events and hospitality industry. A lot of people, they lost their jobs. You know, I know a lot of people, them technical people, them as well. You know, I know Excel Center closed down. I know a few people with the work there. We actually, well, not closed down, but it stopped doing events. And people are worried about if their jobs were going to be safe. You know, a lot of people then take redundancies. Some got put on furlough. Some got laid off because small companies then just could not cope with the with paying staff and not making money. So literally, as T-Boys say, all man gets in time. All of a sudden, a few months into lockdown, everybody discovered Zoom. And everybody jumped on it. And then it be even worse for we, because obviously people realize say they don't need all the support ways something will be give them in the instance. Then granny they all not technologically trained, begin learn from them grand picking them. So you know everybody the level the IT level or the communication level went from here and went to here. So
Right.
you know again that was challenging for the events in industry. You know, people like
Right.
me so begin worry because you know if everybody they help themselves with you been help them before with, are they going to need your help? But as T-Boy say, you know, God bless me in particular and some of my colleagues them with you know, a way for be patient, for think round things. And you know, we looked at it very carefully. You know, some of we bosses them they push for low, make people them redundant. Some of we manager they actually say, let's hold on, let's wait and see. And things changed. Things change because people are realizing yes they can jump on Zoom and do Zoom and Teams calls, but still they not get the technical know-how for do them perfectly. And when they're not
Right.
used for the deliver high-end events, multi-million pound events, they realize say now then get forget that stress day and begin lost their hair, begin you know they rather pay somebody for can do that work there and then get the stress. So things changed and now we're busy. We're crazy busy at work. What we self they do in our community work, we're crazy busy. We always sit down there so I'm multitasking. We all get 9 to 5. We can't sit down there so they can talk boku. We they support people in Polando there as Juma say. We they support people in begging them. You know, and more and more and more. You know, I look at Isita and I look at T-Boy in particular, and I wonder whose kind of energy God give them. Because I think, say, me, I get work energy, but, you know, these guys, they multitask. They do like 4 or 5 different things at the same time. And they're always happy to say, yes, we can help. Which something, and it's hard for the rest of the team, like us, because, you know, it's hard to keep for manage people's expectations. When they need something, it's hard for these guys to turn around and say, no, we can't help. You know, so generally they say, okay, we go try and see. And, you know, one of them will call me and say, hey, Fem, what's happening? This date's available, and I'll be like, I'll try not to answer. Haja Marie, they ping me for every few days. They ask me about dates. I can just help and for make T-Boy answer. Because, you know, really and truly, it's for most of the programs that they do, there's a lot of pre-planning. They come into play. It's not just turning up, switching the computers on, and begin talk. There is a lot of stuff the way they do on we own platform for deliver which we try for do. But again, our echo within T-Boy say there's a time for everything. You know, some of the DJs them couldn't do parties, but then they jumped online, then begin entertain the community online, and some of them have made a better reputation for themselves now than they had 12 months ago. You know, I should say we all see where people then begin sell it on Facebook. All kind of cookery shop all of a sudden open. All man they sell it. All man they so there's opportunities. The old normal, if you make a call on that, is never coming back. It's never ever coming back. Trust me, bet you house on it. Things will never ever be the same as they were before. For we within our events, even though we might have an in-person event again soon, we'll all go begin give na Latin Royal Regency and so forth. There will always be an element of a virtual audience or of virtual presenters, because now we can bring somebody in America. Juma, right now they're across the Atlantic. You understand? You can bring that person into your events, like how they do today, and they all sit down at the same stage. That
we did with the AWOL event.
Exactly. So that's how the events are going to
be.
We
did with the cancer conference.
All of them, yeah. And that is the new normal. So make anybody who believes say we're gonna go back to how things were. Trust me, I'm telling you, from a technical point of view, it's not gonna happen. As T-Boys say, let's adapt, let's retrain. There's certain industries you don't necessarily get for can do it they do. The cleaning profession became big overnight because they need cleaners everywhere. So imagine somebody who get cleaning company. Their business today, what it was 12 months ago. That cleaning company, they, don't make X amount of money. T-Boy talk about masks. T-Boy, I get for the vex one, T-Boy, because I'm saying they'll get for do some work them where he not able to do because his time is preoccupied doing masks. So you see that he's found himself in a niche market. In providing so
many people
it's
go do and not many people will go do the same quality way.
Exactly. So literally, going to your question about what we're going to do in the future, this is what we're going to do in the future. It might be different. Our masks might come off eventually, but the new normal will never, or the old normal will never ever come back. This is where we are going forward. We need for adapt and change the way we see things then. If we need for retrain, we retrain. We're here. We're always happy to help. For years, we've been helping training people on the social engagement side of things. We try to run a TV station in Sierra Leone. That's a different story. But we're here to help. If people in need, we help. If youth they want learn what they do. Obviously, it's going to be hard now that we're on lockdown, but I'm sure when lockdown happen, when I reach out to T-Boy and, we will make things happen.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Palmer, for that. We appreciate that. Isata, your last word for today's program with your new normal.
With my new normal.
The health.
So, the new normal, the health show. Mm-hmm. So again, just to say, innovation, innovation, innovation. We have been forced to look at different ways of doing things, new ways of doing things, or new ways of adapting. So we have to move on. The other thing, the one big thing that we've learned is we have to learn to plan. We have to learn to think about things. We have to start thinking about death, which then brings us to my program that we're going to have on Thursday. So on Thursday, the health show, we are going to talk about death. How prepared are you? Your house in order. Putting your house in order is what we're going to talk about. What do you need to put aside? And if you can't afford to put aside anything, what do you need to do to have a contingency to enable you to be able to deal with death when it comes knocking at your door? So that is what we will be talking about on Thursday.
Okay.
So start thinking, Juma, start thinking about questions and challenges. But close today, I just want to say, we just want to say thank you to everybody. A year on, experienced a pandemic has not been around for the last 100 years. Nothing as such prepared us. Nothing was able to prepare us for what we've experienced. We've experienced shock. We've experienced fear. We've experienced anxiety, added death, instability, financial loss, self-confidence. Everything that we've talked about, in a nutshell, we've experienced it. So it is also time for us to give ourselves as individuals the opportunity to step back and look inside ourselves to say, what have I learned? What has been the take-home message for me over the last 12 months? What am I going to do differently? Like Femi said, the new norm is going to be the new norm. The mask, the face mask is going to be around for a while. The hand sanitizer and the hand washing, hand space and space is going to be around for a long while. So what are you going to do within yourself? What changes are you going to make to adapt to the new norm so that you could continue to progress, you can continue to develop, you continue to grow as an individual? Because if you don't look after yourself first, it makes it really difficult for you to look after others. And that includes your family, your children, you name it. You have to look after yourself first. And I just want to take this opportunity to personally say, for me, today, the National Reflection Day is all about gratitude for me. It's all about what I am grateful for in my life. I am grateful for so many things. First of all, I am grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for keeping me alive and healthy and well during such challenging times where I've been faced eye to eye, seeing death on a regular basis. And He's managed to spare me. I am not better than all those who have died. So I am grateful. That is the one thing I'm grateful for. I am grateful for my husband. He's very supportive. He's very understanding. I'm grateful for my family, my children. Again, they're also supportive and understanding. I'm grateful for my friends around me, my family, my extended family, my own community, for believing in me, for supporting me, for the hundreds of prayers, for the hundreds of motivations, for the hundreds of inspirational words that keeps me going, that makes me wake up every morning to say, you know what, I have a duty of care. So I am grateful for that. I am grateful for those who can look me in the eye and say to me, this is not the right way. Don't go left, go right, or stop, move sideways, or move forward or backwards. I am grateful for those people. I am grateful to my work, my colleagues, the employees, my organization, for giving me everything I have when it comes to knowledge. I'm grateful for that. So I want to take this opportunity to thank everyone, especially the Sierra Leonean community. Thank you. Let's continue to love each other, support each other, and be compassionate in all we do. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much.
This is not testimonial, you don't get so.
I don't get. Thank you so much, Isata. Thank you very much, and T-Boy and Mr. Obafemi Pama for our contribution today. And me want for say on behalf of the CRGM media team, both we waiting at the US, UK, and we field team na Sierra Leone. We want to say thank you so very much to them all. And una we viewers them, for being with us this 1 year almost. We go do 1 year where we start the full broadcast in April. We'll come for let we give us some statistics about numbers and stuff like that. Let us show how together we don't impact so many things. But with today we say the COVID pandemic lockdown, 1 year on, or 1 year on and counting. Like we say now, more of reflection today. I don't crown and say we get to be very thankful, because some people not fortunate for they now this position we did today for sit down and narrate we experiences them, how we feel, the challenges, the opportunities them, and the things that we go through. We're not able for relent or narrate with traumas or other people their own traumas the way then they go through today. So we for be very, very grateful. And I want to say, for let the world become a better place, it takes all of us. The little you can do can make a huge difference for the greater good. So you play your part, I play my part, we all play we part, go make things like this not happen to we again. So let we embrace ourselves. It don't show say any other thing can end and stop. What we have is humanity. What you can share is love. What you can share is peace. What you can share is compassion. What you can share is empathy with other people. Those are things that you're not able for buy, but you're able for share them, and it will help a lot of other people that we don't see, we don't manifest them, and we get them within we for share that. So why not share that? You money, you don't need them, because money go to the bank, what's it go about? You motor car, you don't need that. Outside they go with COVID day. The club where you buy your shoes and fine clothes, outside they wear and go. Sometimes you pyjama self now, she did struggle for wear, and that they for sit down now because you don't tell the pyjama self where they wear. So Lord, be very thankful. And for me, again, definitely it cannot be a better time for reflect on so many things them, and rediscover myself in so many ways them, and look at things that way mean more to me than possibly the other things that I've been on the lookout for. I want to say thank you again. And tomorrow we go there. So tomorrow we're going back to Sierra Leone. We're going to be discussing, the issues around sexual and gender-based violence, more so with the rural community, and also how a particular group of people they try for bringing, because I remember Femi talk I don't talk T-Boy don't talk opportunities, the information age now we dey now. So we get a group of people within Sierra Leone where no one for left the rural women behind. How then they able for mobilize them for let them say benefits through this information age and technology, and for use and for better them. So we'll there we discuss that. Next week, I said I don't tell obviously on Thursday we have the health show. Next week, today for be actually the day we'll for do that program day, but because we don't get this planned, we push on for next week. We all know we not get for forget and say if you know how you come out, you know be able for know how you they go. We get one as Sierra Leone, we be part of we don't be part of we history. So we get for do a program around that for discuss 30 years, since the beginning of the war in Sierra Leone. Of course, it ended in 2002, but that 1991, 30 years gone, let we reflect back and let we look at with society, what can we talk about for make let history not repeat itself again. So that's one thing we'll talk about. Two, it come back to the same thing again when they talk about technology. This necessary evil where we get, okay? Now we see say Salone one pass a cyber criminal act where we don't see a lot of things that people and on they talk about of concerns and all that. And so we will do again next week. We will do a program on that for examine that and then discuss them in details for see whether another road day we want for go, whether it's going to be of benefits to Sierra Leone or not. So a whole lot. Then please, I want let una brace una say, because April is not going to be funny. We have so many programs coming up, and it's going to be an exciting time for the with CRGM Media. So join us tomorrow, Thursday, and next week. So until then, on behalf of the team, Mijumaba, they say tata.
Fellow Egentonians, friends and loved ones, ladies and gentlemen, you are invited to join the Sierra Leone Grammar School Old Boys Association, United Kingdom and Europe at their 176th Thanksgiving virtual service on Sunday the 28th of March 2021 at 3 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time and 10 a.m. United States Eastern Time. The theme this year is On Christ the Solid Rock I Stand. The sermon is by the Reverend Ola Crown, a fellow Egentonian. For more information about the virtual service, please log on to www.stemforslgs175.com www.stemforslgs175.com. Then click Read More to access the Thanksgiving events page. The Zoom meeting ID is 833-6430-3612. 833-6430-3612. The password is SLGS175+1. Uppercase SLGS175+1. Please join us in giving thanks to the Almighty God for 176 years of fortitude, perseverance, and excellence. Thank you.
When he shall come with trumpet sound, oh, may I then in him be found.
Fellow Egentonians, friends and loved ones, ladies and gentlemen, you are invited to join the Sierra Leone Grammar School Old Boys Association, United Kingdom and Europe at their 176th Thanksgiving virtual service on Sunday the 28th of March 2021 at 3 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time and 10 a.m. United States Eastern Time. The theme this year is On Christ the Solid Rock I Stand. The sermon is by the Reverend Ola Crown, a fellow Egentonian. For more information about the virtual service, please log on to www.stemforslgs175.com www.stemforslgs175.com. Then click Read More to access the Thanksgiving events page. The Zoom meeting ID is 833-6430-3612. 833-6430-3612. The password is SLGS175+1. Uppercase SLGS175+1. Please join us in giving thanks to the Almighty God for 176 years of fortitude, perseverance, and excellence. Thank you.
When he shall come with trumpet sound, oh, may I then in him be found.
Yes, this na time for all Salon people and them party them. Sierra Media will be bringing you a variety of programs ranging from documentaries to discussions, interviews, news, views, sports, and entertainment. Our programs will contain matters on development, governance, the economy, and issues that are of importance to Sierra Leone. So, no left BNO because we get Bebe program then like salon discussion, meets the ministers, the president's hour and the Gladi program. Look me, I look you. All this they start soon na www.sarahjemmedia.org. Now who's tem these?
As we talk about burning issues ranging from politics to the economy, culture to sport, education to entertainment, corruption to the environment, we realize the Sierra Leone story is far from finished. So, Sierra Gem Media Production brings you Zoom In. Zooming In is the program that engages everyday people, entrepreneurs, inventors, entertainers, activists, policymakers, and politicians to discuss and debate issues relating to Sierra Leone. Zooming In digs deep into the issues and stories. Zooming In ensures the debate is pushed to another level. Zooming In asks those questions that has never been asked before. So, join me, host Juma Bang.
When I was young, a lot of things were different. Unfortunately, most of the differences seen now are heartbreaking and are not good at all.
Before now, men were strong protectors of the weak, fathers, brothers, lovers, sons. Their mere presence guaranteed the safety of women and children.
But what do we do now?
Men harassing and raping women.
Men sexually abuse little girls.
Men battering and killing their wives.
Any form of sexual assault, be it rape, sexual abuse, or pedophilia, is a killer to human self-esteem.
Women should stop dying in silence.
Speak now.
The rapist should be stigmatized, not the victim.
I think death sentence should be the consequence of such terrible acts.
And you mothers, build confidence in your children, put trust in them, listen to them when they make reports, and take necessary actions.
Talking of mothers before now, women were virtuous.
They were mothers, daughters, and sisters.
Nurturing, counseling, supporting their men folks.
But now,
women are trafficking female children for money.
Women are forced to be silent.
All this must stop, and it must stop now.
Real men do not abuse, rape, or molest women and children.
It is barbaric, unacceptable.
Let all real men stand with us.
Together, let's say an emphatic no to rape, sexual abuse, pedophilia, and domestic violence.
all the crimes committed against a person, rape is the one that leaves a person feeling very violated. A rape victim is often left with the feeling that a part of them has been torn apart.
To use another person's body and ignore the souls that resides within is one of the most outstandingly shocking crimes that one person can commit against another.
Some men harass and
Hello, my name is Josephine Kamara. I'm the founder of You Can Do It Foundation. You Can Do It Foundation is a charitable organization based in Sierra Leone, West Africa. You Can Do It Foundation has been in existence for the past 2 years. We have been fighting gender-based violence against women and girls within the community. During the past 2 years, we have been offering psychosocial support, counseling, court fee, medical fee, including school items to the survivors of gender-based violence. However, during the lockdown of COVID-19, report received and confirmed that rape cases among a minor has increased tremendously within our community. Because of this, You Can Do It Foundation has secured the land to build an accommodation for the survivors of rape. However, this may almost become impossible without your generous support. We need your help to build this home for the survivors. Your help could be in cash or in kind. If you wish to join us to make a difference in a child's life, please go to our website, which is www.youcandoitcyf.org, or you can go to our GoFundMe page, which is Home of Hope for the survivors of gender-based. Or you can contact us with the details at the end of this video. We thank you greatly for your generous support, and thank you once more for making a difference in a child's life.
The Sierra Leone entertainment industry, UK and I, appeal in response to COVID-19. Coronavirus is real.
I just want to tell you this short story here, but coronavirus waiting, especially me they miss na the entertainment industry.
COVID-19 don't put the world into a standstill. We know say no party need to go on, no shows.
And as a community, we don't come together anymore
like we used to, especially during the weekends.
I know it's hard. Honestly, I know it is hard.
Stay home. Stay safe. Please.
We know exactly it is causing so much psychological problem and financial problem.
It is a harsh reality for all small business owners across the world.
The coronavirus that affects me big time in my community because I need to even get chance for come on and go for go do my business. Women are businessman.
I'm a hairdresser and I have a lot of clients, and also I work with a team of other hairdressers.
Actually, as pandemic affects my business greatly.
Well, I'm in a beauty business. Everybody just stays indoors and would not want to have on makeup, especially those who just do makeup when they want to go out.
Just do things that you've always wanted to do. Learn a new skill, read a new book, watch a series on Netflix.
Yo, my people, wherever you are, whatever you do, remember, Corona is real.
The last few weeks had been very anxious and stressful for everyone.
Like everyone, I felt the wide-ranging impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, challenging our extended family unit.
It has not been the same working from home.
You should only go outside if you need to get essential items or if you're a key worker, like my mum who works at the NHS.
Do ya, my people them, make we follow the rules them at this very time.
Coronavirus is real.
We not say it's not easy, it's difficult, especially when you get family for feed.
Because the longer this goes on, the longer we won't be able to return to our normal lives. And the only way we can is if we follow the guidelines.
Let's come together and save lives.
Just because being a musician, I tour and I perform and all my shows have been cancelled due to the situation. So
that said, everything about coronavirus has not been all negative. For example, staying at home has enabled me to spend more time with my children.
The positives are though, you can spend more time with your family members. You can appreciate the importance of humanity. You can see people being generous and kind and supportive.
We pray that these dark days will soon be over, and as a community we can bounce back stronger and better.
I mean, all the activities that we normally do on a daily basis, it's not happening at the moment.
We don't shake hands like we used to. We don't hug like we used to. And as a matter of fact, the outbreak of this pandemic has instituted the practice of physical distance.
By doing so, we are stopping this virus being spreading. Then we can get to our normal daily life.
One thing I believe for sure, we're going to come out of this very strong, you know.
Yeah, anybody who gets Mama, Naya, Auntie, whether old age, we get any underlying illness, please, we are always in contact and check them.
But this don't left them very, very sad. This don't left them for feel so isolated. This don't left them for feel confused.
Coronavirus or COVID-19 has affected my community in so many ways that we have never seen before.
Due to this virus, we've suffered mentally, physically and emotionally.
Coronavirus is causing lots of mental health for people in my area.
My community, I don't even see my neighbors now. We're all indoors.
For all this time so far, the mood has been extremely somber, especially considering how unpredictable the whole situation is.
We are in the house and doing online studies, which is not easy, and it is sad.
My dad is a bus driver and he works because he's a key worker. People who are not key workers, please stay at home to prevent the spread of coronavirus.
At the moment, I'm now doing online studies because coronavirus has affected my studies at school.
I'm begging you as your sister and your daughter, please stay safe.
COVID-19 pandemic has affected us all, professionally, socially and personally, with some drastic changes made to our daily lives.
I would like you to follow the instruction government are saying to you.
Romans 13:1 and 2, it says every person must submit to and support the authorities over him.
May the Lord bless us and keep us. May the Lord cause his face to shine upon us and give us peace.
This is the time that we need to come back together. This is the time we need to reconcile. This is the time we need to begin to love each other. This is the time we need to let go of those things.
And what we know is that at this time, we all need God's protection.
Remember, we are all in this together. Coronavirus is real.
So please stay at home.
Because we want you for their life. We want you for the way salon suite. We want you for enjoy salon.
The Sierra Leone entertainment industry, UK and I, appeal in response to COVID-19. Coronavirus is here.
I just want to tell you this short story here, but coronavirus waiting, especially me they miss na the entertainment industry. COVID-19 don't put the world into a standstill. We know say no party need to go on, no shows.
And as a community, we don't come together anymore like we used to, especially during the weekends.
I know it's hard. Honestly, I know it is hard.
Stay home. Stay safe. Please.
We know exactly it is causing so much psychological problem and financial problem.
It is a harsh reality for all small business owners across the world.
The coronavirus that affects me big time in my community because I need to even get chance for come on and go for good my business. Women are businessman.
I'm a hairdresser and I have a lot of clients, and also I work with a team of other hairdressers.
Actually, as pandemic affect my business greatly.
Well, I'm in a beauty business. Everybody just stays indoors and would not want to have on makeup, especially those who just do makeup when they want to go out.
Just do things that you've always wanted to do. Learn a new skill, read a new book, watch a series on Netflix.
Yo, my people, wherever you are. Whatever you do, remember, Corona is real.
The last few weeks had been very anxious and stressful for everyone.
Like everyone, I felt the wide-ranging impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, challenging our extended family unit.
It has not been the same working from home.
You should only go outside if you need to get essential items or if you're a key worker, like my mum who works at the NHS.
Do ya, my people them, make we follow the rules them at this very time.
Coronavirus is real.
We know say it's not easy, it's difficult, especially when we get family for feed.
Because the longer this goes on, the longer we won't be able to return to our normal lives. And the only way we can is if we follow the guidelines.
Let's come together and save lives.
Just because being a musician, I tour and I perform and all my shows have been cancelled due to the situation. So
that said, everything about coronavirus has not been all negative. For example, staying at home has enabled me to spend more time with my children.
The positives are though, you can spend more time with your family members, you can appreciate the importance of humanity, you can see people being generous and kind and supportive.
We pray that these dark days will soon be over, and as a community we can bounce back stronger and better.
I mean, all the activities that we normally do on a daily basis, it's not happening at the moment.
We don't shake hands like we used to. We don't hug like we used to. And as a matter of fact, the outbreak of this pandemic has instituted the practice of physical distance.
By doing so, we are stopping this virus being spreading. Then we can get to our normal daily life.
One thing I believe for sure, we're going to come out of this very strong, you know.
Yeah, anybody who gets mama, naya, auntie, whether old age, we get any underlying illness, please we always contact and check them.
But this don't left them very, very sad. This don't left them feel so isolated. This don't left them feel confused.
Coronavirus or COVID-19 has affected my community in so many ways that we have never seen before.
Due to this virus, we've suffered mentally, physically, and emotionally.
Coronavirus is causing lots of mental health for people in my area.
My community, I don't even see my neighbors now. We're all indoors.
For all this time so far, the mood has been extremely somber, especially considering how unpredictable the whole situation is.
We are in the house and doing online studies, which is not easy, and it is sad.
My dad is a bus driver and he works because he's a key worker. People who are not key workers, please stay at home to prevent the spread of coronavirus.
At the moment, I'm now doing online studies because coronavirus has affected my studies at school.
I'm begging you as your sister and your daughter, please stay safe.
COVID-19 pandemic has affected us all, professionally, socially and personally, with some drastic changes made to our daily lives.
I would like you to follow the instruction government are saying to you.
Romans 13:1 and 2, it says every person must submit to and support the authorities over him.
May the Lord bless us and keep us. May the Lord cause his face to shine upon us and give us peace.
This is the time that we need to come back together. This is the time we need to reconcile. This is the time we need to begin to love each other. This is the time we need to let go of those things.
And what we know is that at this time, we all need God's protection.
Remember, we are all in this together. Coronavirus is real.
So please stay at home.
Because we want you for their life. We want you for Dewey Salon Suite. We want you for Enjoy Salon.